I want Mane to just go to Salah afterwards and be like, "Shh, we're in the lead, we're winning, it's gonna happen." But this,
My issue is because I want like Senegal to win,
mm,
but England scored very early in the European Championship and just went downhill from that. I
yeah,
don't think Egypt have the quality to come back. That's the thing. If they go down, I don't know if they have the ability to come back.
yeah,
But
it's one of them things because Egypt are the defensive side, so all they need is one chance, one goal, then they can bring it to extra time and
yeah.
to penalties as well. But Mane looks like he's taking it now as well, so this will be good. Oh, Sadio. Oh, this keeper's been sick as well all tournament.
Just watching it, like they're like Senegal's crazy right now.
Mm. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh no, Sadio Mane, what are you doing? I told you, I told you this keeper's crazy. I told you this keeper's crazy.
Oh my days!
Look at that.
Oh, if he hit it slower and went down the middle, oh my days! No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Just like you said, it's just a great start to the game as well. Oh man,
yeah.
This is crazy. But no,
he's experienced, like his head's not down, which is good.
Mm. He knows that everyone's watching him now, so he knows he has to turn it up now as well, which will be good.
Sometimes that's what you need to J yourself up in it.
Yeah, and Mane's that type of player that just gears himself up. Corner ball in. Oh, well defended. But yeah, I'm backing Cameroon for this one as well. I'm like I mentioned to you on the chat before. Like I want Cameroon to do well, and they didn't get through unfortunately. But I wanted Senegal to be the next one after that as well. But hopefully it'll be a good one to go for Senegal. Oh man, what a start to the game!
Egypt have done well in that, as we said, they're defensive. So they've kind of just got by either on penalties. A lot of the time they haven't actually won in open play. But it's like, can lightning strike 3 times? You know? And in my head, I'm like, Nigeria beat Egypt. We're like the only team who's beaten Egypt. How can we get out and the team that we beat win the tournament? It just that would do something to my pride. So that's another reason why I definitely want Senegal to win.
It's an interesting one for that because I never consider it that way as well. It's crazy how it works. Oh man, but no, I'm still shocked. What a start to the game though as well. But what do you think of this Senegal side? Have you been impressed by like, watching them for the whole tournament? I know they got to the final, but did you kind of expect them to be there, or have you actually been like genuinely impressed with them?
I always feel like with the AFCON, there are no favourites. I think even if you're playing relatively well, you don't know what you're going to get for the next game. So me anticipating Senegal getting to the final was more in want than due to me thinking their ability was just like the best. At the same time though, I do think player for player, they've got the best team. So I think they do deserve to be in the final. And the fact that they haven't won, like out of the nations in Africa who have had like a golden generation, like Senegal, you would have thought they would have won the AFCON like at least once before, but they've never won it. So,
I would have thought they would have won it, especially around that 2002, 2004 era where they did really won the World Cup as well.
Yeah, exactly.
In the day.
You know, so yeah, I think they deserve to. Like I think in a non-biased way, I think Nigeria actually played the best, but that was only in the group stages. Like it doesn't really matter. Can't really go on that. But outside of that, I think Cameroon had some good games. Ivory Coast did, but I think in terms of what you need for a tournament, Senegal have done the best. Like being quite rigid, very effective in the counter attack, and you know they can play out a little bit as well. So, yeah,
bit of everything, and I like that in the team as well, which is something different from what we've seen from previous Senegal sides as well. Like remember the one in 2018 World Cup? I think it got knocked out in the group stages, so it's like sorry, they just caught free kick that just went in, but they won the ball back, and the Senegalese player just kicked it out.
When they do that, I find it so funny. That
they look so stupid when they do that. It just doesn't hit them. Like, oh, you're just clearing it for no reason. Just back heel it in. Makes no sense.
Oh, did he win it? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even more embarrassing if he lost it. But, yeah. their players are like recognizable though. Like I think pretty much in every position, maybe not the fullbacks. I'm not sure who their fullbacks are, but they're playing in like one of Europe's top 5 leagues, and for pretty decent teams. So
yeah, definitely.
It's not really the case other than Salah.
It's like they did it really well the other day when they described it. It's like not only is the whole country looking up to the likes of Salah and Mane, but it's like their actual teammates as well because of where they're playing. The likes of playing in Egypt and playing in the Senegalese league, like Liga 2 in France as well, which is another one.
Yeah,
crazy that way as well.
Yeah, the drop between Ligue 1 and Ligue 2 is massive as well because, like, although France is a proper footballing nation, like outside England, like where the football league and the pyramid as a whole is vast.
Mane.
You don't really have that. You don't really have that in France. So Ligue 2, Ligue 2, like it's not levels. So yeah, it's a testament to the fact that they can come to a tournament like this and do bits.
The only one that kind of stands out from Ligue 2 is when Leicester signed N'Golo Kante from Ligue 2 back in like 2015, 16. You're like, oh, never heard of this guy, and it became like a legend over the whole season as well. Ball was moving, Mohamed Salah. Oh man. But this Senegalese side is just an exciting side to watch. Like I watched the semi-final a couple of days ago as well, and that Mane goal was just such a sublime finish as well.
Yeah, clutch. He came in clutch, man. He came in clutch. I've got to respect him for that. I knew there was no doubt he has that quality. There was always going to be as well.
Ball in. Oh.
Mendy as well, the best goalkeeper the last year.
You just look at that spine though. You got Mendy, Koulibaly, Kouyate, Guy. Just a Gay is in the attacking mid, and then I can't even lie. I'd never heard of like Didier before the tournament, so that's something I always like as well. Like when you go into a tournament not knowing players and you get to see them properly, it's quite fun.
I agree.
I was saying it to Kez on the last one as well. It used to be like that in the World Cups and the Euros when you don't see some of these players in like international tournaments. But now, because information is everywhere, you know everything about everything now. It's just one of the things that you'll see these Brazilian, Argentine superstars all the time because it's so accessible to see them all the time.
Yeah, I think the fact that this has more coverage this year, because I don't think BBC or Sky have really like focused on AFCON before. I think there's going to be a lot more scouts taking an interest into the African talent.
Definitely.
And like Egypt especially, because a lot of the players are going to be playing in the Egyptian league. Like it's a good opportunity for them to come to Europe if they wanted to, because they have a pretty good league in the sense that, like the African Champions League, most teams that win each year are from the Egyptian league, so they're actually not too bad. We've got a team called Al Ali.
Yeah. Al Ali and Zamalek are like the main two in Egypt as well. They're always in that Egyptian African Champions League. Like.
Yeah, so it was Football Manager. That's the only reason why I knew about them. And Mohamed Zidane, I don't know if you knew about him from back in the day. He was basically, I never really knew about him in person, but he was like their best player. Like when they were doing back-to-back AFCON wins. Then I eventually like did some YouTube research on him, and he's a baller. But he was playing in the Egyptian league for a lot of his career.
He was he was a striker, wasn't he, Mohamed Zidane?
Yeah. Obviously his name's very iconic, so it's like if you hear it then you'll be like, who's this? Anyone with the name Zidane, you're gonna be noticed.
You can't be like a builder and be called Zidane. You can't be working in Tesco and be called Zidane. You literally have to be like a Man United academy graduate, former Egyptian striker, or one of the best players of all time.
Yeah.
And be called Zidane. That's how it goes. Like, even his sons are still playing football as well.
Zinedine literally paved the way for it. I mean, it's obviously not completely a unique name, but I'm sure the Man United Academy graduate was named after Zinedine as opposed to it being for cultural reasons. But,
yeah, that's like you just can't name certain people certain things because it just might ruin their reputation as well. It's like I remember there's a time when a mother in Manchester called her newborn baby Tevez. So not even Carlos, just Tevez.
Yeah, it's always
And
a
then,
selection. It's
yeah,
always a selection.
and then what happens the season afterwards? He moves to Man City, and
Oh,
then and yeah, and I think the news interviewed her as well, and then she's like, "Oh no, I'll still remember the good times that Carlos has given us as well." And then the interviewer was like, "Why didn't you call him Carlos?" I'm like, "Can you say that about someone's baby?" And, oh my days, that's so wrong. Like, what?
You would have like had less egg on your face if you called him Carlos. You could have been like, there's many Carloses, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, I've loved Carlos since forever. Roberto Carlos, Carlos Tevez, other people call Carlos as well. Like, nah, Tevez, love Tevez. Like, that's odd that is, because imagine her like when Man City won the league, and then her son's a Man United fan called Tevez.
that's
Growing up. Imagine I couldn't do that personally. If I was to have a child, I couldn't name them after. Like, if I was to call like a child De Gea, I love David De Gea, but I'm like, what if the child ends up growing to be like an accountant or something like that? I'm like, it's not the one. It's not the one. I'm like, you're just burdening them straight away.
It's mad.
Do you reckon?
I remember I went to one party when I was, I don't know, maybe like 8 years old or something, and there was this guy. He must have been like 5 or something, a little bit younger than me, but he loved football. Like he wasn't the greatest. That's the thing, but you know, like he was giving it a lot. Nutmegged him a couple of times, yeah. And he was getting really angry, and then he started telling me the origin of his name. He was like, "I'm not gonna." Well, he was like, my dad named me this because it was named after the greatest footballer in the 1994 World Cup." So I was like, he's talking, but he's not delivering. Like, and like the thing is, he had cornrows. Like, I think he was a Jamaican guy, and it was called Romario. It was called Romario, as you do.
Yeah. It wasn't going to be called Baggio. A Jamaican guy with cornrows is never going to be called Baggio. The greatest player from the 1994 World Cup. Yeah, Brazil won it. That's cool, but you're not very good at football, are you, Romario?
He wasn't born then either, because I was born 94, so he was probably born like 97 or something. So I don't know, man. His dad probably really just loved Romario because it wasn't recent bias. If it was recent bias, he was the best in 97. Ronaldo maybe just about.
Young Ronaldo coming through. Oh, Senegal through.
Tight.
Good play from it. It's good ball from him.
He's talented, man. I think he would have been a good option for Man United in the summer.
Oh, he would have been. If we got them when they were relegated last season, that would have been so much better as well. The price would have been cheaper and everything. Would have been brilliant to have got him. Proper right winger as well.
Grealish as well. If Villa got relegated 2 seasons ago, I know this is mad, like hindsight, but like that would have been a chance to nab him.
Yeah, but the thing is, if VAR was working, they would have been relegated in that Sheffield United game. I say that all the time. The fact that if VAR was working in that game where the ball crossed the line, but if they switched it on, we would have had Jack Grealish in our team. It's mad how everything works out because of one simple decision.
It's mad. It's actually mad.
But no, going back on that name thing, it's quite fascinating as well. Because again, when I was growing up, I had a guy in my school called Romario as well. But I had a lot of he wasn't Jamaican at a cornrows. He's just Jamaican. He had no cornrows. But basically, there's loads of people that grew up around that same time called Jordan as well. So like, okay, cool. But then obviously, I didn't watch basketball at the time. Not obviously, but basically, a lot of people would then just go, "Oh yes, because of Michael Jordan. My dad liked Michael Jordan." Like, that's crazy because Jordan nowadays you can have so many people called Jordan, and there's so many ways of interpreting that as well. Jordan the country, Michael B. Jordan the actor, Michael Jordan the basketball player. It's quite cool that way. But that was more my thinking in terms of you can have it in multiple ways as well, which is cool. But like the Tevez one or the Romario one, it's an odd one.
Too specific because with Jordan, like it's always been a name like that. I mean, you know, it's probably origin like back to the country, but like it's such a common name. So it's like, okay, Jordan. I know many Jordans. Yeah. Like, it's even like a unisex name. Like when I started to hear girls were called Jordan, that's when I was like, oh wow, like that threw me up. I was like, what? But it's so common that it's like, okay. But Tevez, Romario, like, and the maddest thing is, like, I don't know if you watch like Full Time Devils or like I think Stratford had it.
Ronaldo Brown, is that it?
Yeah. So But that would have been from R9 as well. So there's going to be a whole new generation. I don't know if they'll call their children Ronaldo based on CR7 or whether they'll choose Cristiano. I don't know, but there'll be a whole new generation of like Anglophone, proper like Catholic speaking countries naming their children Cristiano instead of Christopher or Christian, just Cristiano. Just, you know. So
it will happen because I'm just there like in 9 months' time. After this game, there could be loads of kids being born in Egypt called Muhammad, and like loads of people will call their kids Muhammad after seeing Mohamed Salah, but that's common enough because it's one of the most top 10 popular names in the world. Muhammad is, which is crazy. But it's nothing like Sadio. Like if in 9 months' time Senegal win, no one's gonna call their kids Sadio.
Yeah, it's really specific. But I have a thing with this. Like I really want those names to be more common. Like I think with people of African origin, like specifically, so not like just black people in general, like people of African origin, it will be so interesting to see like roles reversed in terms of names because there's a lot of them who have, let's say, English names or French names, like Paul Pogba.
Yeah,
Paul is Paul Pogba. It's like French, whereas you won't really see Antoine Griezmann called I don't know, like Mamadou or Sadio Griezmann. You wouldn't see that. So it would be interesting if the influence of successful African footballers would make like European parents like name their children after them. That would be really interesting to see. But Africa's never had, I think other than George Weah, never had a Ballon d'Or winner.
No, not officially. No, it's just been there've been like some people have been in the top 3 and stuff, but no, George Weah was the one as well. And when you think about it, and when you actually deep it, Zilla, it's literally when you're looking back, a lot of the French players and a lot of players in Europe, Zidane could have played for Algeria, Mbappe could have been at Cameroon. Oh, no, across the ball. But you get what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
It could have been the case. Like Koulibaly, fair enough. He went to make history with Senegal as opposed to playing with France. Because Deschamps was like, I want you to play for the French team. But he was like, no, I want to stick to Senegal. I was like, okay, fair enough. Which was really good from him to do that. Wilfried Zaha went to Ivory Coast as well.
He went late though. But
he learned he wasn't very good. He learned when Adam Lallana was keeping him out of the team. He was going to get a chance.
He's better than Lallana though. I think, but he's just hot-headed, which I don't like. But like, it holds him back for sure. Because his passion, it's not effective. It doesn't let him do good on the pitch.
Yeah, it doesn't drive him the right way. Like some people, like Rooney's passion would drive him further. Zaha's passion drives him back.
Yeah, exactly.
But what would you say for my culture, Zilla? So if you're saying, for example, let's say for example, someone wanted to be called Iqbal because Zidane Iqbal does really well. Yeah. You're seeing a family in the suburbs grow up with like a young man, blonde hair, blue eyes called Iqbal.
I love it.
It'd be great. More diversity. You'd have the teacher at the register. You'd have the teacher at the register going, Iqbal, and they'll be looking at the brown kid in the class. He's like, here. He's like, that's not you. He's like, yeah, that's definitely my name. Iqbal's my name.
I get that the majority of the country, like it's not Asian or it's not black. So you're going to look at the one black kid or the Asian kid in the class. But especially in London, it's supposed to be a diverse society. So it's like you should be able to get anything. And yeah, man, like I think because even if we don't use London as an example, like there are a lot of, let's say, there are a lot of Asians in South Africa. There's a lot of white people in South Africa, but it's not like they interchange with black names or like Zulu names, for instance. Even though I think Zulu is the majority. So it's like it will be interesting to just see that somewhere where like the influence of like one of the main figures who's African or Asian like brings their name to the forefront of the majority population. That would be lit. That would be cool. I think it's got a chance as well. I think because that's obviously not as common as Mohammed. But I think I can see a lot of people calling it Charles Salah.
Yeah, you would see it as well because the fact that you see it all the time on like social media. Oh, if Liverpool win the league, I'll name my first kid Mohammed or I'll name my name Salah or something. And I remember one of my friends was like, oh yeah, if Liverpool win the Champions League this year, I'll convert to Islam. I'm like, no, you're not going to convert to Islam. They didn't win the Champions League. They lost to Real Madrid in the final, but he didn't convert to Islam the year after when they won the Champions League. So I'm just there like, people just say things for the sake of saying things, or they're just saying it for attention. But I'm literally just there like, there's no way in hell you're converting to Islam. I'm like, this guy just like love drinking and all of that. I'm like, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
I don't think they understand the commitment. I think they just think, oh yeah. It's probably like just it's all talk. It's pretty much.
But that's what happened as well. Like with Liverpool fans as well. They were just there like, apparently all the knife crime went down. The crime in general went down in Liverpool when Mohamed Salah was playing. There's a lot of things. Yeah, so it's quite fascinating reading about that. The fact that Islamophobia went down in Liverpool as well, since Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane have been there as well, which is crazy when you're thinking about it and you're deep in it like that. That literally that one person has an impact just like that on a whole city, not just footballing wise, but
big deal, man. It's a big deal. Like
nothing's happening yet. It's just half chances so far.
They're putting more chances. Also, Salah's deceptively strong, man. Like his ability to just hold defenders off the ball when he's so slight, it's kind of underrated. Ooh.
I like when players are like that. They're slightly strong. Like you always trying to over or underestimate them, but it's really cool seeing it like that as well. Which is really good because a lot of players are kind of like that. I think Santi Cazorla was kind of like that for Arsenal. Henrik Mkhitaryan was kind of like that as well. He had that deceptively strong, but he's quite lean to be fair as well. So it was quite good that way.
Yeah, like when you're lean as well, like it's even more impressive. It's kind of confusing to be honest, but they've kind of like mastered their body positioning. Oh my days.
It's so fun to watch. It's so no.
When he does that, it's like you can't really teach that because there are like challenges on, I don't know, like when you're training, they might say, okay, get this ball in the top corner of the goal, or how good's your first touch? Or just drop it and like there's a center circle around like where the ball can go to indicate how good the touch is. But like just dribbling like between defenders and that. Yeah, you can put cones or you can put like little poles in that, but like I don't think you can teach what Salah does there, right? I think that's just gifted.
I personally don't think you can, because if I was to try and coach that to like my coaching group, no one would know what to do. They just go in and out the cone, which is fine, but it wouldn't work properly for them. They'd just be there like, it's not happening at all. I'm just like, what else can we really do? Oh, what's happening there? Good time.
I like Mane's dribbling as well. He's more unpredictable in my head. Like Salah, he does like a lot of little touches, not messy, but like that sort of vibe. Whereas Mane would just like shift to the right, quickly like accelerate to the left hand side, jink in and out. Like it's so unpredictable.
Can you do that? Because I can't do that. I'm not nimble enough to do that. I'll try it once in a game and I'll get it, which is fine, but it's just too much effort for me. I'm not as nimble as I used to be.
I hear that. And I respect it. To be fair, that was what my game was modeled on. And it's so like when you don't play on Premier League level, when you're just playing like against other schools, like and you're able to do that, you're just like, I can make it. I can make it in the Prem. And then when you like jump up a level, like maybe academy or so, and realize like the defenders are just, they don't tolerate that. It's like it just humbles you. But that was like mainly my game. It was like the bobbing and weaving sort of thing. But I think Sadio is so athletic, but he's able to. He has the end products as well. Like there's one thing being able to jink in and out, but then having the stamina and endurance at the end to release for the final ball. Like gosh. Respect it a lot.
Where did you play when you used to play for your school? What position?
Left wing.
Left wing. So were you an inverted left winger with the right foot coming in?
From early, actually, I was pretty. Oh, actually, not from early because there weren't wingers back then. Let's say, but like in the Prem. But yeah, I was invited. Sometimes I played on the right as well. I did my finishing in like drills. This is what I mean by trading and real matches. My finishing in drills was good, but in real matches it wasn't. But my crossing, and not like whipping in crossing, just like squaring ball. My vision was good. So sometimes I preferred to just be on the right where my focus was assisting as opposed to like cutting in and shooting. But generally at school, I did play on the left wing.
That's really cool, that is. Because again, it's one of those things that you end up, you don't learn that when you're growing up. You don't learn how to be an inverted player because you always work as a winger. You actually learn, or at that time especially, you learn how to be an actual winger and learn how to cross the ball, how to make through balls in, how to take a touch or two inside. But now having inverted wingers, as we can see, it's like almost common. It's almost just sought after having inverted wingers, which is crazy. And it's again, it's literally, it all goes down to like the grassroots level of how you expect a winger to play. And especially in England at the time, it's basic 4-4-2. Your school may have been different at the time, but it's literally what you learn at like football training and stuff like that as well, which was crazy.
I remember like there was this academy team that, because me and my friends used to just go to like different cages and stuff. And there was this academy group that came. They were like 3 years younger than us. And they played us off the park. Oh, my guy's got a Man United shirt. He's a crack card.
The pain in his eyes as well is just there looking. Did you get that shot as well, like a Boubacar? With just there, like, this should have been me playing.
Ooh.
Oh, Kouyaté. It's good to see Kouyaté back in midfield. I don't really like him at centre back.
Yeah, their pressing traps are good.
Sorry, you were saying the academy team.
Oh yeah, they just played off the park, and they were so quick, but not physically, just the way they knew the balls, and everyone knew which position to be in, just spreading the ball like, you know what I mean, like butter. It was amazing to watch, but it's crazy how different football is, the levels you go up. Like, yeah, you can make an individual difference, like you know, just by raw will, you know, but there's only so far that will take you. And yeah, that's the thing, like against younger players, like, yeah, I can go past a few of them, find like a decisive ball. But unless you're playing in an academy where you're drilled how to do certain things, how to fit into a system, like, which ideally comes from when you're young, yeah, it's going to be hard to make it, to be honest, because these are things that are instilled in you from young. Like, what's his name? Luis, like Liverpool's new signing.
Luis Diaz.
Luis Diaz. Have you heard about his upbringing?
Not properly. I've read about it. I've seen how he grew up and stuff. But go on, elaborate it still.
You know how he basically didn't find a club until like he was 16 or so, like a proper club. And I think who was it? I think it was not James Rodriguez. It was one Colombian legend. I think it was a guy with a Donnarumma.
Was it Valderrama?
Yeah. And then basically he created a club just so that Luis Diaz could have like experience in real-time football.
Yeah.
And this was like late on. He had the natural ability, but he didn't have like, you know, just that, you know, footballing culture in terms of what to do on the pitch. And yeah, he's obviously excelled like year after year, just developing. Then obviously got scouted, went to Porto, and got a big break at Liverpool now. But there aren't many examples where someone, has a lot of talent, but hasn't been groomed in a footballing way and still ends up making it. I don't think there are many examples, but he was very late, very, very late to play football.
There are a lot less now in the modern game as well, but we don't really see them in Europe. It's more players coming through from like Africa, South America, Asia, but mostly like Africa, which is why I appreciate the African Cup of Nations a lot more, because even with Eric Bailly, he was selling phone charges like 2 years before he signed for Villarreal whilst playing football.
I heard about that as well. Yeah.
And I'm just there like, that's so cool, because it means that you're not groomed in that way. Like, you're not a classic academy player. And with me, when I play football on Tuesdays, We play with just like us normal guys, which is cool. But there'll be a guy on occasion who used to be a semi-professional footballer, and his like levels head and shoulders above all of us. So I'm just like, when he's free, just give him the ball. He'll dribble past everyone. He'll do what needs to be done. I'm like, it's so cool watching him play. And I was playing with him on Tuesday, and it was just the fact that when he was playing and then we finished, he was like, oh yeah, good job, well played. I didn't really do much, but it's like, no, you're in the right positions, the right places, and he just give me a bit of feedback. So I'm like, oh, that's quite cool. So it's telling me what I needed to do and how I need to do it, as according to a semi-professional footballer, which is quite fun. But I'm just there, like literally, as you were saying that, I bet you there's so many people that nowadays that would think, you know what, if I had a casual upbringing to football, like I wasn't in the academy from the age of 10 until the age of 21, 22, it would have been more refreshing for them because they'd appreciate the game a lot more. And I think that's where it's kind of, when you see a young player coming through, like in the Leicester game earlier, Dewsbury Hall coming in from Leicester, from the academy, being there for a good number of years as well. You're just there thinking, yeah, it's cool, it's played, but he doesn't really have a passion for the game when you're seeing it. He's just doing the same passes, same movements in and out, like it's robotic in a way. Yeah,
the passion part you can't teach. I mean, it can come out of someone later on, but I remember having to be told by some of my friends and that, like, pass the ball. I wasn't someone who hugged the ball because I was good at listening, but when you know that, like, say it's like a cages match and it's like 7-6 or something like that, and just everyone's getting tired and the match is just slowed down, I might just run past everyone, sort of thing. But other players are like, no, pass it, because it helps you like sort of develop that culture of like team play, even when things are like going against you or when you're a bit annoyed. Like, just make sure that you remember that it's a team game, which is like, it sounds cliche, but it's important. But regardless, though, like, my point is that passion for the game was just in me. Like, I fell in love with dribbling, like that feeling of going past them, man, and just seeing them like go in your dust, leaving them in your dust. Like, I love that feeling, and I feel like some players, it's just a job to them. Like, they're not. There's no trigger point where they're like, ooh. Like for some people, it might not be dribbling past them, man. It might be doing a 40-yard ball and it lands like perfectly on like your teammate's foot. That's sort of, like, everyone has a trigger point in mind. Ooh.
That's me, because I'm more of a defensive player. Go on, good press in Senegal. Barely talk about this game because there's not much happening in this game for anyone watching. But no, that's me being more of a defensive player, because I know for a fact I'm not one of the fastest players, nor one of the best finishers, but I can pass the ball wherever you need it to, and I'm pretty good at that over long distances. So when people are watching the Instagram stories on Friday Night Counter Attack about Tony Cruz and midfielders and all of that, it's probably me posting it. So I'm probably just appreciating the genius. But it's the little things as well, like when you mark one of the opposition players, best players out the game, when you're managing someone who's a lot faster than you, and you can kind of manage them in terms of dribbling them or delaying them. I appreciate that a lot more as well when I'm on the pitch as well, which is quite fun for me, because I'm just there like, this guy I know can run a lot faster than I can, but I've stopped him from dribbling past me. I've got in the right position. I've done this, I've done that. And it shows that you're actually progressing when you're actually playing as well, which is a good thing.
That is a flex, to be fair. That is kind of a flex. I do really appreciate the art of passing. I don't know if you've seen a video of Pogba with, was it Allegri? Yeah, I think it was Allegri. It was at Juve a few years ago. No, it was Conte. Nah, it was Conte, yeah. And there was another coach. And like, they had this challenge of basically getting the ball into like a specific zone from like 40 or 30 yards or so. And this was before, like, I knew Pogba, like, I was actually a fan of him then, but it was before like he became my favorite player. Because I knew him more mainly for flair and like dribbling and that sort of thing. Because I had always been calling out for like I know he plays for France, but like a technical African player. Like, oh, his eyes bloodshot. Ooh. I've been calling out for that. Like, I obviously love the likes of JJ Okocha, Yaya Toure as well. But like, seeing Pogba with the flair and then finding out his ability to pass as well, it was a joy to watch. That if I was younger and watching it, that would have motivated me more to be more of a passer. Like, I love the art of vision. Like Scholes, I can watch his compilations all day. Like I love that, but it's something that I loved like later on. Let's say late teens or so. Whereas dribbling was from probably birth, to be honest. But yeah. So yeah, I respect that in Pogba because it's quite unique to have a midfielder, like a centre midfielder, have flair and like a passing range. His issue is just like dwelling on the ball and not knowing when to do like a dribble or not. But like the likes of Pirlo, Scholes, like they think so quickly. They think like 4 steps ahead of everyone else in the pitch, which is another skill in itself.
Yeah, because it's even the things that I can say that with chess, I'm very confident of doing. Oh, good win back. Oh, go. No. Oh, well defended, Egypt. Egypt's going to be on they're going to be on the edge of the 18-yard box the whole time and counter.
Yes. You don't want to give them that credit.
Nah.
Well
it's literally, just get it done, Egypt. It's fine. Everyone was thinking I'm going to be supporting Egypt today. I'm like, why? And they're like, oh, yeah. Everyone like the uninitiated were like, oh, you're brown. Mohamed Salah's brown. You'll support Egypt. Like, no, that makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. I'm like, you're just being casual racist, a lot of you. Like, no, I'm supporting Senegal.
He's not even Asian though.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I was like, oh, he looks like you. It's like, it doesn't matter if he looks like me. He looks nothing like me. Skin tone is not the same. And then, oh, Salah!
Change the game like that. Yeah, he's scary. See that he's deceitful, you know. He's deceptive. He gave the defender the eyes that went near post. That is dangerous.
That's so good of him as well. The keeper got it, which is really good.
Yeah, that's Mendy. Yeah,
I think a bit more lift, and he may have beaten Mendy, but Mendy's solid.
I love giving the keeper the eyes though. That's another thing that I like. It's you can't teach it. It's like you just shimmy or dummy one way, and then just put it in the near post. Yeah,
I like this ref though. He's been doing well this game. I wish we had him in England. It'd be so much better. But no, it's basically the fact that I was saying that because they were saying, oh, but why are you supporting Senegal? I was like, Egypt are a Muslim country, but no, Senegal's a Muslim country as well. I'm like people are just watching African Cup of Nations and watching Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane, and I'm like, they're both Muslim countries. I'm like, why do you think I'm going to support one because of another? Like, it makes no sense. I was like, I want the Sadio Mane agenda to go up higher than the Mohamed Salah agenda, because people are like, oh, if Sadio Mane wins it, he'll get recognized more. I'm like, yeah, I would like that, because I think he appreciates it, but Senegal as a whole haven't won it, which is something I want to see. You want to support the ones that haven't won it, and Egypt won it like 6-7 times, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's one of my key reasons, but mainly because I came back from Senegal and that was a joy. Just taking in their culture, like proper good people, and it's also West Africa as well. So the West African bloc goes from Nigeria to Mauritania, pretty much. Yeah, and Senegal's right underneath Mauritania. Yeah,
no, it's a decent one as well, because I think because I was supporting Morocco in that Morocco versus Egypt, as I told you before as well. I was like, if there's a country I want to win, it would be Morocco, because I've enjoyed the culture when I've been there. I like it as a holiday destination. Beautiful country. They were out. I'm like, I have no allegiances now, so let's just see who wins it, which would be good.
I think that's the main reason if your team's out. Like, you've been to the country, you've taken in the culture, like you've got a lot of friends from there, something like that, you know, like. Yeah.
It's like every time like the Asia games on, I'll support Japan because I've been to Japan, or whenever the CONCACAF one's on, I'll support Panama. So I'm like, okay, cool. I've been to USA, I've been to Canada, I'll support Canada. South America, I haven't been, so I'm just there like, I'll support a new Man United player. That's there. So it was Cavani, I think, Uruguay. So that was the last time, and Telles from Brazil, which is the case. But but yeah, in terms of what we're saying about the football players as well, it's like it's so cool when you can actually big yourself up in a way, because like with us, we record ourselves playing football. Like when I play every now and then with my friends back in Birmingham, so the guys that I do the podcast with, and I'm just there like I'll record it and I'll see things that I haven't been doing for a while. I'm just there like, oh, I can shoot from halfway. I never knew I could do that, which is pretty good. Again, just like cage football, goals football, which is cool. But then it's the little things that I know for a fact I know where people are, so I can just quickly do a one-touch pass and move on with it, which is fun. And I like that. I like that side of it as well. When you're seeing things differently and you can appreciate things differently as well, because I've been playing for a good number of years, so you want to see how well you're doing and how well you can be doing as well, which is the best thing possible.
Yeah, I miss kicking ball, man. Like since my handbrake and me coming back to a sprained ankle as well. Like it's been a long time, but I love the feeling when you come back and as you say, like you realize, oh, you haven't lost this part. And then you go back again like in consecutive weeks and you do stuff that you were doing when you were a kid and you're like, wow, like you never quite lose everything. Even if, you know, you're a bit rusty, the more you play, like you just pick up stuff like, and you know when other people are like, oh, did he just do that? Like it's such a satisfying feeling. Like you might not be the best straight away, but like slowly but surely, you just, you know, play your game, and yeah, you rekindle the ability.
Yeah, you get the passion back as well when you haven't played for a while as well. And that's what happened one time. So a couple of weeks ago when I was playing, I did I don't know how to explain it. We got it on video, but you don't see me doing it on video. You just see like my reaction, or you hear my reactions. Basically, goalkeeper passes it to the defender. Defender plays a cross-field ball, so a cross, to me on the left-hand side of the goal, and I back heel it in midair behind myself. So I'm not. I basically back. How can I explain it? So I'm facing it away from goal. It was half time in the game for anyone watching. There's like 12 people watching before, so thank you for everyone watching, which has been great. It's in total we're at like 35, so it's pretty good. People are interested in our conversation today. But no, basically, I was facing away from goal, so my back is towards goal. The ball comes over to me, and I back heel it straight into the opposite corner, and I'm just there like, oh my god, I actually scored that, and I just improvised that, and it was so funny because I'm just there like, I'm like the most sourceless person in terms of skills and ability. It's like I said before, I'm like a Hamz McTominay. I'll just run. I'll pass it a bit. I'll tackle a bit, which is good, but I won't have the actual source. And then I come up and do something like that, and I was like, oh my god, it was amazing. And then my friend was like, yeah, but you didn't get on camera, did you? I was like, no, it wasn't on camera.
That's the catch. That's the catch, man. And have you got the video which like raises up and like captures the whole game? Or
nah, we were just using the GoPro. To be fair, so I'm just there. Like if we had a video, it would capture everything, which would be great.
I've seen on TikTok randomly like some people with a GoPro, and I've seen some passages of play, and literally like I was excited. I got excited. I was like, whoa, like because I think every maybe 5 years I appreciate something new in football, and passages of play, I guess, is my latest one. Not new, let's say the last, like, let's say 3 years ago, I started realizing like why I see football as chess sometimes, like with moving pieces. So you're managing like each piece, obviously each position, and like making sure that they're in tandem so that you can get the most effective move. And there's some positions or pieces that work better or are very effective in certain places, like let's say a knight, like the horse or whatever, and let's say an attacking midfielder, but like a number 10, not just any attacking midfielder, not like a Lampard, for instance, who's very good, but I'm talking about specifically having intricate touch, the ability to like do a flick on when you see an oncoming runner, like even a Glenn Hoddle or something like that, even a Fernandez, like someone who has exquisite touch and vision, but is effective just behind the D, like just roaming and that sort of thing. Like, and when I see like the build up for them passing into like that attacking midfielder, like it's amazing. I saw this on TikTok and I was just like, rah. Because when I saw it initially, I was like, what is this? It's just like a guy running. I'm hearing him breathing and whatnot. But it's like, I don't think there was one pass that wasn't a first touch. Like, I think there was like probably 16 touches in total. I think like okay, probably like 12 of them were just one touches between 3 different players. And the guy was constantly running and he was involved with like 10 of those passes. Like it was nuts. He was like a pinball. He was a pinball. Yeah. I love seeing stuff like that, man. But it's more effective with the GoPro. If you see that in the video from a bird's eye view, it's good. But seeing how he's like coordinating everything while he's breathing as well, like it was just seamless, man. It's seamless. But yeah, that's training as well. That is something you can train. Although it's a really good art, it is something that you can drill into players.
But that's the thing, like when people like you and I don't find that fascinating, who are like football fans, but they don't find it fascinating, that's what annoys me the most. I'm like, you need something like this for the maestro or the superstar to score the goal or to get into that position for him to be free or for him to finish and score the goal. Like it all kind of builds from the back for a lot of people, and a lot of people aren't like a Haaland or a Cristiano Ronaldo or an Mbappe who can just win a game by themselves by the flick of a switch. Which is why I appreciate it a lot more as well in terms of like the fact that everyone has their job to do and everything knits properly as well. When you're knitting everything properly in a team, like for example, this Egyptian side, again, like you said before, I'm not really a big fan of them, but you have to respect how they're defending. And they're defending very well as a team. Got like 8-9 players behind the ball. They're all running back like their lives depend on it. I'm looking at some of the highlights now whilst we're at half time, going at least 2-3 people to every attacker, making sure Mane isn't left alone, making sure if he goes one way, if he goes the other way, he's covered as well, which is really good from that point of view as well. I'm really enjoying how there's so much more to learn in terms of positions, passages of play, positional play, all of that. It's so fun to
learn.
You always
get that, or was that something that? Because I think it could develop when you get older. It's like your patience, for instance, develops as you mature, and maybe you just can't be bothered to wait for people to build up. You just want to see the goal, the glitz and the glam sort of thing. Yeah, I definitely appreciate it later.
That's why I find it funny that it was on TikTok as well, because on TikTok it's like a 10-15 second video and you're like learning about passages of play, which is like the slower bit of football, which is pretty good, really. I do not mind that at all.
Maybe even a minute and a half. It was like an extended video, but it just was just watchable. Like, but yeah, I guess I'd compare it to like, you know what you said about the Egypt team, yeah? If Egypt end up winning, yeah, I hope they don't. But a lot of people be like, oh, all they did was defend, man. Like they can't even play. They're not good. That defeats the purpose of like what you're in it for. You are in it to win, to be fair. And like a lot of people say that in boxing terms, like Floyd Mayweather, like he doesn't get hit, but people say, oh, he's always running away, kind of thing. But like he doesn't get hit, and he does like little jabs, which is effectively what Egypt's have been doing the whole tournament. They've had the game plan, and like they're just executing it. Even if you don't like the way it looks, it's not a knockout, but you know it gets the job done. Hopefully, it doesn't get to that.
Because that's how you see it in football as well. Because you can use that in terms of like the Jose Mourinho type of football that won him multiple trophies. He didn't like to get hit properly, but he would hit them on the break. He'd hit them on the counter. He'd make sure that his team was set up in a way that would not let him get affected in his defense. And that's what Floyd Mayweather did as well. I think Anthony Joshua won a fight like that against Joseph Parker a couple years ago by actually adapting to that tactic, which is really good and quite fascinating because anyone can do that. And it just goes to show that sometimes you can put your pride away and your own self-awareness away to one side for a game or two, and it could work.
Yeah.
Alex Ferguson used to do that. He used to do it against Arsenal quite a lot as well. 4-3-3, have like 3 hold midfielders in there, maybe a Scholes or a Fletcher, Carrot type thing. And you just break on the counter with Rooney, Park, Nani, Rooney, Park, Ronaldo, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it would just mean that Arsenal could have most of the ball. They could look like they could dominate on TV. The pundits could chat about how they're doing really good with possession. Fabregas, Nasri, they're all playing really well. Van Persie's doing all right. Still no goals. What happens? We get like a 1-0 or a 2-0 win, and we win.
Arsenal are suckers, man. Just get sucked in, man. Like it's you know the game plan, but to be fair, sometimes you know the game plan, you can't stop it because even if there were like 3 defensive midfielders, you know someone like Scholes has got the vision to pick someone up on a 6-point from anywhere. Carrick likewise. So having 2 of those, it's a bit unfair. It's a cheat code. But Yeah, like Arsenal, like the whole pride of, yeah, we dominated, but you're always losing. Like, get during that era.
Yeah, oh, it's the Arsenal way. I'm like, yeah, the Arsenal way, but it's cool. You didn't really do much in that period of time. A couple FA Cups, that was okay, but it wasn't the best way to end Arsene Wenger's era as well. I
Yeah,
remember the one time I remember Arsene Wenger adapting really well was when we played them against with a Louis van Gaal side, so it's Schweinsteiger and Carrick in the midfield, and we got blitzed like 3-0, 3-1 at the Emirates. I'm just there like it was the first time he adapted in game to like Ozil, Cazorla, Sanchez, Walcott, and you're just there like, wow, this is what Arsenal should really be doing all season. And that was the season they finished second, by the way, as well. So they Spurs came third in that 2-horse race. So
Spurs bottled that.
it's really funny that they're the whole season. They should have won the league. They didn't win the league. Then they finished third. Like, oh yeah, but we got Champions League. Like, that's not what you should have been doing that season. Speaking of, whilst we're at half time, what are your thoughts on the rumors of Pochettino to Manchester United? Do you reckon you take that?
No. I mean,
you actually hate it. You actually hate it.
Strong word, but sometimes you need exaggeration, man. Because
go for it.
I think he's a bottle job. I think his reputation is preceded him. He's built it, fair enough. Southampton, Tottenham, etc. He had PSG links, so it's a quote unquote big team for him to go to. Like not winning the league first time, getting knocked out of the cup. Like it's like what are we really going for with him? Like even his style of play now, it's like it's not really been implemented in Paris. Like, is that because of the egos of the players? Is that because I know that he's going to have to shoehorn in certain players, and it might not be what he wants, but just because of politics, he has to do that. Same thing's going to be at United, man. The same thing's going to be at United. So, like, why are we really going for that? My go-to would be Ten Hag, and to be honest, I am seeing a lot of talk with Ten Hag, which I'm hoping is positive. I'm hoping it's not ominous in the sense that it's like a little gaslight, like we're just distracting you when Poch is actually going to come. Because how he's got Ajax playing, we've spoken about this. Like it's a joy to watch. Like it can make you. We talked about passages of play this whole chat, and like they don't have the biggest names per se, but they do that in abundance against big teams, Champions League. They did it against Real Madrid a few years ago. I had Real Madrid fans like who I'm friends with in Spain, loving Ajax. Like after that, like they fell out of love for football because it was just a bit stale, even though they'd won like a three-peat. And then like Ajax kept coming, like they start falling in love with it again, like which is testament. And he's rebuilt the team. Like a lot of the players were pinched. So with Poch, I don't know, man. He had a lot of players at Spurs that were his. He did well with Southampton, but I don't know, man. I don't see it going anywhere good with him personally.
Because the only thing I could think of is with Ten Hag, how would he manage the big egos? Because he's never had that at Ajax as well. So he's never had the players that have been like, oh yeah, but what have you won? I've won this, and this. I won a World Cup. I've won a Euros. I've won multiple Champions Leagues. What can you provide? So that's my only fear with Ten Hag. But like I've said before, and like we've discussed before, Ten Hag's teams are just a joy to watch. We enjoy watching them play. I remember saying that on one of the podcasts last year. I just want to see them more in the Champions League. I look forward to watching them in the Champions League. It'll be Man United until they're in. It'll be the big game of the week, whichever game that is, Inter, Real Madrid, whatever it is, Liverpool, AC Milan. And then watch Ajax properly as well. Should be great.
Yeah. I
look forward to seeing them play.
As well, like especially when Sancho was at Dortmund. But like, there's certain teams that are like your second and third favorite. Like you take an interest, and Ajax have abundance. But with the egos thing, I actually really agree with you. But I hate to bring it back to Liverpool, but I was thinking, I don't think Klopp really dealt with big egos when he was at Dortmund. Not like that, not to that level, He came to a Liverpool team that weren't doing so well. But did they have Coutinho before Klopp came? Do you remember?
Yeah, they had Coutinho. It was that season where Gerrard had retired before. Then you had like loads of players and Coutinho, Sturridge. I think Firmino is in that side. Those were the kind of big players at the time. Skirtle was there.
That was one. the point is, like, they had some fairly big names, but you could see his style, and like they had this thing where they were beating teams like 4-3. Their defense was shite. It was terrible, but they were playing a good attacking football. So the key was to get a good defender and a good goalkeeper to stop leaking in goals. And I feel like I know some teams, like, they base off like having a good defense and then start to tweak it and then become more attacking. But I'm happy to do it the other way, man. Like, if Ten Hag is able to, like, get like attacking football, and then if we're conceding, then like bring in some like replacements or whatnot, then that's all good. With the egos, though, I think Ralph is slowly kicking that out. I think by the time we hire Ten Hag, it could be like, I guess, Ronaldo, Bruno to an extent, who kind of throws a tantrum when he's taken off. But I don't know, man. I'm seeing a more humble Bruno slightly since Ronaldo and since Ralph even. So I don't think there's as many egos as we think there would be at United. By the end of the summer.
That's a good way of putting it as well, because that's literally my fear. I don't want one of those, like, you see all these rumors and all these leaks from the dressing room. 17 players are unhappy. This is happening, but the manager says something else. And it takes a strong character to manage Manchester United, as we both know. We've seen the good and the bad and the ugly at Manchester United as well. And even things like Louis van Gaal, we just was like defeated in press conferences after like games, and you're just there like, this guy was full of life and full of exuberance at the 2014 World Cup. He'd literally been so passionate for Bayern Munich and for AZ Alkmaar previously as well, and you're just there like, Man United has defeated him. It's a different beast completely. So that's why it's one of them things that when you go back to when there was that summer of Mourinho free and the Guardiola free, and Man United went for Mourinho instead of Pep, where we could have gone for Pep, but we didn't. That's where I think we are now as well. Which one do we choose? Because I think whatever happens, the media will always say that we got the wrong one unless we win the league. And fair enough, it's true, because the next thing we want to do is actually win a trophy, which I predicted. I said our season was over in December, and Friday kind of summed it up, unfortunately. Which is why we're back to watching African Cup of Nations, because it's more exciting football than watching our own team. I'm
a hopeless fan, though. You know, like they say, a hopeless romantic, yeah? But initially at the beginning of the season, I was telling Sean, like, no, actually, I didn't say we were going to win the treble. I just said that we're more likely to win the Champions League than we were to the Premier League. And I stand by that. Like, it's not saying that we're going to win the Champions League. It's literally just saying we have more of a chance in that than the Premier League. And I think when we got knocked out of the Carabao Cup, I was saying, and obviously we weren't good in the league, I was saying, like FA Cup and Champions League. Maybe in the back of my mind, I just thought, like, nah, it's not really going to happen. But sometimes you got to try and speak things into existence, man. But, bruv, I was humbled on Friday, man. I was humbled on Friday, bro. Like,
oh, man.
You know, everything's against you when the spectators can't eat at half time. You know, like, some sort of spirit is working against you, bro. Like, something is working against you, man. But
now you know why I tell you whenever I go to Old Trafford, I have to eat before, because I'm like, you just don't want to have their £8 Mars bars and their £12 pies and whatever it is. I'm like, now just go eat properly, sit down, be in some warm comforting restaurant, because you don't want to waste your money there. So I'm just there like, if there's a Man United fan watching and you were disappointed on Friday by not getting your £4 Pepsi or Coke, whatever fizzy drink they serve, drink it before. There's like Tesco's, there's an M&S, there's a Costa all around Old Trafford. You'll be absolutely fine just getting one from there.
It's not even drink shops too. It's the pies that they love, bro. Like,
yes,
they're not even nice, because I remember working at the kiosk, when I used to work at Chelsea. I used to work at an agency, so like I was around different stadiums.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, even like, bro, just a side note, Man United fans are the worst. Like, the thing is, because I was working at Chelsea.
Were you working in the away stand?
It depended on the match. Sometimes I was assigned to the away stand, sometimes I wasn't. So when I was at the away stand and it was United coming, they just didn't believe that I was a United fan. Like, I was telling them, no, I'm a United fan. They're like, okay. You know, I was like, no, trust me. Like, why would I lie? Like, because they tried to put pressure.
Sure, mate. You work for Chelsea. That means you must be a Chelsea fan. No, I need a job. I need money. I've got things to do in my life. I can't just go to Manchester and back for a job.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and we even wore some shirts. I've still got. Am I wearing it? No. I still got one of the shirts that they gave us for free. It had like George Best on the back. But like they would like steal the food that we were. That's a poor free kick. I
was waiting for that free kick. Why? Awful choice of free kick. Awful choice of free kick taker there.
What else I'm about to say?
So bad. Sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, like the pies, like even like the Bovril, the hot drinks. Koulibaly's face.
That's gonna be Koulibaly at extra time as well. It's like, why? All these chances just missed.
That says it all. But yeah, no, when we prepared it, we put it out on the front, the desk, so that, you know, we can like speed things up. And some of them will just steal it. You know what I mean? I was like, I've never had this with any other team's fans. Like, Liverpool will come down. Liverpool were quite bad as well. But like, West Ham will come down. Like, you know, every other Premier League team, this was like a few years ago anyway, all fairly well behaved as away fans can be.
Yeah.
Man United fans, oh my gosh. The worst, like starting fights outside, and not even in a banter way. There were some that were like quite abusive to like the kiosk staff. Like, I can handle myself, but some of them were just like, it's not a good reputation. Like, you want to go around. But to be honest, I think Man United fans have had that reputation from the 70s, man. Literally the pioneers of football hooliganism.
It's quite sad when it's like that as well, because you're just there like there's the whole other side of it of like the new generation of fans, and you get loads of people with like they get bantered online and stuff like that, but the main thing is they're behaved. It's literally like they're actually behaved. Like, you'll see kids coming in now and they'll be like with their friends and stuff, and they'll be like taking loads of pictures and selfies and stuff, which is fine. It's great. But they're not going and abusing people or stewards or people at the kiosks and stuff. And like these older generation of fans that have been doing that for a number of years, and they just see that as normal. So that's like quite worrying to see how that's like normalized in football and society. Like there's no tolerance for some things in football, but that's tolerated, which isn't great. So the police just are like, no, we want them pies as well, steal them for us. Wasn't the one.
No, for real.
What other stadiums did you work at?
Tottenham. It was before the new one. But that, I didn't do that as much. Like, it was mainly Chelsea, but then sometimes O2.
Okay.
So for events, and then Twickenham, which is massive.
Did you Twickenham during the Six Nations in the autumn? Did you do it in the autumn or the winter? When did you do it?
Oh yeah, to be honest. So yeah. I do remember the Six Nations. Like, it was good. It was good to be able to watch like these matches for free. Like, you know, especially there was one kiosk in Chelsea, and it was like the Man United match. I was at the family kiosk, and so you have a perfect view of the stadium where you are, and like you're essentially getting paid to watch the match. Which is, apart from at halftime, there's no match going on. You have to clean up. Yeah, but for the most of it, you can see like Gary Neville and the pundits and whatnot. And it's just like, right, I'm actually getting paid to watch this because I'm right behind the people like sitting in some of like the actual seats and that for the stadium. But Chelsea, Tottenham, Wembley, SSE Arena, the small one, not the main stadium. Twickenham, O2. Those 5 were pretty much the main ones.
Oh man, no, you can imagine it must have been exhausting because of work, but you must have enjoyed those little moments of watching the games and stuff like you just said as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. I remember.
Oh no!
This goalkeeper! Oh my days! Why is he's on smoke?
This guy's not letting the devil past him, let alone a goal past him. Look at that.
He's like, no, for my country.
You shall not pass. He's just doing a Gandalf impression. Like, it's not happening.
For my country. Oh my gosh.
Senegal really need to speed this up now. They. I don't want them being in danger of going into extra time.
Yeah, that's
Falling into that Egyptian trap.
exactly.
Come on. So did you get to see like any concerts or anything at the O2 whilst working?
Sometimes it depends on your kiosk, like as I said. So some of the kiosks were like, they were just in the middle of the O2.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh. Wow.
Took him out. Just took him out. Is that I'll do it for the team. Take a yellow for the team.
I didn't see anyone who like I was really into, but sometimes it was just a free concert, you know what I mean? And it was actually like a party. Yeah, it was pretty much like a party, like music. You got some like drunk people, whatever, but no one crazy. Like obviously you stay in pretty much one spot. It wasn't too small, but you get music and you're getting paid really, so it's not too bad. A lot of people got paid a bit more than the salary as well. So like for some people it was like happy days, even happier. But and you can get good customers in the sense that they will just tip you. You weren't technically allowed to get tips, but some of them will just be like, there you go.
Keep the change.
Yeah. Oh, that was another place, Oval. Yeah, Oval Cricket Ground.
Oh man.
Wealthy. Yeah. They would do someone got like £100 from a tip.
Just bringing the drinks in. Here you go.
No, I mean like there's a guy with his family. I was like, rah. Because there's two different like types of work. There was like retail and there was hospitality. So if retail, you'll pretty much be behind the kiosk or bar serving drinks at the till. But in hospitality, like you would go to the table of like some of the customers who were at the stadium. Like sometimes it'll be after the match or like, it would be pretty much business clients. It'll be like clients.
Yeah.
And that's where you're more likely to be tips. But I think it was pretty good for students. Like it was a good job because it was kind of like they'll send you a text saying, you're available to work this day. And if you were, that happened. If not, then no obligation to make it way there. So it's really convenient for students.
That's really cool, because you're just literally like, well, for me, I'm a cricket fan, a rugby fan, and a football fan as well. And I'm pretty sure at the O2 you'd be able to. There's like that tennis thing. Oh, he's holding up the ball. Oh, for goodness sake, this defense.
Hey,
go on, and El Neni fouling. Oh, save again, the keeper.
What? His face, bro. The look at his face after he saves it as well.
It's just like you're not stealing it from me.
He's like,
you're not stealing it. You're not stealing this from me. It's so funny. It's like a cartoon character with those eyes just popping out.
You will not get past me. I can just imagine what's going on in his head, fam.
It's just like self-motivating himself. It's like every motivation video he's ever seen in his life. It's just rolling through his head right now. It's like I watched this in like 2013. I'll remember what they said just to not let them score. Oh man, come on, speed up, Senegal. I was going for a throw-in. Never mind. No, that must have been really cool though to work as a job. Like even like you said, as a student as well. Like it must have been so much fun because you're just there like watching all these different sporting events for free. And if I could do that without having to pay the admission fee, it may have been an option to do that as well. Because again, you're going all around London, seeing different parts of London as well, which is quite
good. I think a lot of people in London don't know like the rest of the city, like especially if they're only exposed to something due to school. So being from South London, like I'll say Southwest because a lot of people from Southwest don't know much of Southeast because there's no reason to go there. Like it's a big old part of London. Anything south of the river is considered it. But like Bromley, for instance, very, very different to Lambeth. So people don't know. But I used to do this thing where on my birthday or whatever, say, Mane is getting hats like crazy in this match, man.
Yeah, they just need to stop him. It's like Salah just told them, just don't let Mane run. If you let Mane run, you're done.
That's what he's one of his teammates. I think that's what he says still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet Mane would have said the same thing about Salah.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
It's like just keep hacking Salah down, get all the yellow cards.
Like, I love him, but like hack him down, hack him
Yeah,
down.
just hack him down. Jurgen doesn't want me to say this, but hack him down. We don't need him for the Champions League. We don't need him for the Premier. Just hack him down. I want this trophy. I need it for Senegal.
Yeah. Well, I say, yeah, no, I used to do this thing where on my birthday, I'd like treat myself to a random gift from voucher. Yeah. Like, I don't know, there was one time in January, I had like 5 exams and it was my birthday basically, but it was my birthday on the Monday. So I couldn't celebrate on that Monday because I had 5 more for the rest of the week. So I was like, okay, let me treat myself to a massage for every day that I wasn't able to celebrate my birthday. So what I did was I went on Watcher, got myself hot stone massage, Swedish massage, ashiatsu, reflexology, which is when they massage your feet, all in different days, or it was on the weekend, but all in different locations, yeah. And it gave me a reason to go to Barnet because I'd never been. So I was like, let me just roll there. Like, it gave me a reason to go to I think Wivenshaw. That's Manchester, isn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what, you're not going all the way to Wivenshaw for a massage. That massage better have been worth it, and they may have paid you expenses to go back to London. No way were you going to Manchester for a massage.
I was in uni as well. I was broke. Like, it was Walthamstow. Yeah, Walthamstow. Like, it just gave me reasons to go to these places, isn't it? But yeah, like, I think another thing as well, like in terms of geography and like location, football has helped me know like just where everywhere is. I don't know if that's the same with you, but like,
100%, 100%.
I know like Bucharest is in Romania, or like, or like Dynamo Kiev. Okay,
Kiev is in Ukraine.
Yeah, like that sort of thing.
It's so fun like that. Football helps me with 2 things in my life. Zin. It helps me with locations and it helps me with dates in my life as well. So saying with dates like in my life, so I reflect everything on like football fixtures that happened on this weekend. So like I could tell you the football fixture that happened when Carlos Queiroz is on a radio, old fashioned right there. No, like I could tell you like what happened on like my 17th birthday. Like this game happened on that weekend, or I can tell you when I last saw like one of my friends and it was around the time when this happened, or because of football. And I'm like, it's so cool because I'm just there like I'll joke with my wife about it all the time, but I'm like, the first time we met, Man United drew to West Ham United, and she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, the first time you and I met, Man United drew to West Ham United. So every time I see West Ham play, I always think of you. And she's like, what are you on about? I'm like, never mind. It's just how I remember things. And then I think I mentioned it recently as well, but I was like, the day before my wedding day as well, Man United played against Arsenal. So Aubameyang scored against us. So I'm like, so I made a joke with my wife again. I was like, I'll always remember Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. It's like, why? Like, because he made me upset for my wedding because he scored against Man United, and so did Nicolas Pepe as well. When we lost 2-0, and I was in a really bad mood because Man United lost to Arsenal the day before my wedding day. So I'm just there like I'll use it in such a random way like that. It's so funny, but with like little things as well. Like I remember people's birthdays, I remember people's anniversary dates, I remember people's like favorite moments when they got like a new car or something like that, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's around the time when the World Cup 2014 was on as well. How do you remember that? I'm like, I remember like Hamz and Zilla scored a really good goal a couple of days before you showed me and stuff like that. So that's how football helps in those aspects as well. It really is. But the best thing football is for personally is more the social aspect than anything as well, because literally, as you and I are talking, we wouldn't have got to know each other without football. And I was learning about this week at university as well. The fact that there's so much in community football in terms of how when people start playing football from such a young age, a lot of their lifelong friendships, whether they stay at the club or not, is through the sport of football, because it's accessible for everyone. Cricket isn't accessible for everyone. It's very expensive to continue playing. The equipment, the pads, the memberships, all of that. Tennis is the same. Rugby, it's not the most child-friendly game to play, but you got football, you got athletics. Those are kind of ones that build a lot in terms of relationships and friendships and stuff, because It's kind of there for everyone to play. Just need a ball, some trainers, some boots, maybe, and you're good to go.
That's a really good point. Like, because it's obviously like a working class game in terms of origin, man. Like, it got me thinking, because I think to myself a lot about these sorts of things. Like, depending on where you are in the world, like sports are perceived differently. And in America, I don't think it's seen as a street game, because I remember only having to have 2 backpacks, and a tennis ball in school. Like, when there was no one who brought in the ball, we would use a tennis ball from the gym or whatever, and 2 backpacks as a goal. And then eventually we got 2 goalposts, which was really helpful. But like, you don't need much at all. Like, with, obviously, as you said, with tennis, it's specific. It's a specific type of racket. You can't you can practice tennis with your hand if you're just slap tennis.
If you're desperate just to hit the tennis ball. Oh my days. Your palms afterwards, like after your lunch break from playing tennis for an hour. It's like, I can't even write anymore.
You know what I'm saying? It's a bit mad. But
play pat ball or something.
Handball, yeah. Handball's not as big, to be honest. But yeah, like, it's just the ball's at your feet naturally. Like, a ball, because of gravity, like, objects are going to be on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you're young and, you know, you're just walking, it's easy to just kick something. I'm talking about when you're like 2 or 3, just learn to walk. Like, that's something you can do. You haven't got the grip strength as much as, say, like something like basketball would require, maybe. But football's that's why it's the world's game.
Yeah, it 100% is, because when you're looking at how what I was looking at especially was you know how I mentioned to you on chat about how I was looking at going to how I wanted to go to the USA in a couple months' time or something. I was telling you about that. How it'd be quite cool. When I was thinking about it that way, because I'm deep in the sporting aspects of it, of like how these big cities like New York and Miami and Los Angeles, they have all these great sports teams. But when you're looking at from a football aspect point of view, and how they how it's not even one of the biggest sports in the USA, it's because of how their progression model is done. So like, they have to pay large memberships to get into these football clubs. Their football coaches are paid a lot more money. They're probably paid around the same as like teachers and head teachers are in the United Kingdom. They're very well off. A lot of football coaches that are there that aren't the volunteers, because they've got the qualifications, the ability, especially those that go from Europe to the USA. They're very well revered in the USA as well. And that's because of like the membership model as well. So Christian Pulisic, he had to find like sponsors and stuff to help him pay for his memberships to be in these academies. But when you're thinking of it from a grassroots level in the UK, or even in like another country in Europe, it's insane, because you're just there, like, you can pay like a one-off membership fee, get your kit, get your boots, and you just carry on playing. You don't have to continuously pay, use a lot of money from your account just to go out to play football. And there's less pickup games in the USA as well than you would have in like the United Kingdom, Spain, wherever you are.
One of my friends from Spain, actually, obviously Spain, they're pretty good at football, and they're good at basketball as well. Like, in the UK, basketball is not as big. It's not as celebrated. So for me, like, I get that basketball is a street game in America, but I really associate football with being a street game. I understand that obviously, you know, there are other people who, you know, come make their way through in different ways, you know, like with anything, especially anything with money. If you've got the right contacts, you can get through. So it's not necessarily about just, you know, being from the street and like getting spotted. There's other ways. But it was interesting that my friend from Spain said that he saw basketball as more of a street game and football as not really a street game at all. I was like, that's so interesting, because it's weird how such a universal game is seen as so differently. Because I guess the way that it is in Spain with tiki-taka and how it's not necessarily about being individually expressive, it's about like patterns of play that's from young and like technique and all of these sorts of things that they probably practice on the field like straight away, like grass with boots and stuff like that. Whereas here, like it's a cage thing, and in Paris it's a cage thing, and in Brazil in favelas and stuff like that, that's where you see like the real flary players, like the expressive players, your Pogba's, your Sancho's, like Neymar, etc. But then, you know, like some of the best players, and I find it so interesting because I think England don't have a proper identity for it yet. Because with France, I think it's been like that for a long time. I think Clairefontaine, and the fact that most of the talent there come from the suburbs of Paris, like where it's rough, not easy. A lot of the talent has been coming there for decades. And Brazil, it's been like that. England, it's sort of unsure about what their identity needs to be, because you've had the likes of like David Beckham being your main player. We've never had like a Zidane in England. We've never had, you know, like a Pogba, that sort of thing. Like it's never been a flair player. It's been a more cultured
for Egypt.
Yeah.
No,
that was a hard chance.
It's been a game of half chances besides that penalty miss. Man, should have done better with that. Free header and everything.
Yeah.
So, you were saying we've never had a Zidane, we've never had an identity.
Yeah, we've never had that. So I think like now, and then with St. George's Park being built, to be like more technical and stuff like that. We'll see. You've obviously got like Foden who's come through, and you know, but I feel like England have been indecisive of like what sort of image or like way of playing that they want, and that's probably contributed to them not winning anything for a long time.
I think they need to mix the identity with the link up of like Spain, really, because when you're thinking about it, when you think about like how someone like Carlo Ancelotti manages his teams, he lets everyone be the individuals in their team because he can't change all individuals to suit a style of play, and it's worked for him in the past. Like when you had that AC Milan team with Kaká, Seedorf, Gattuso, and Pirlo, 4 completely different midfielders. He made it work for them because each one of them had something different to bring to the table. And I think that should have happened with England a long time ago in terms of, so we've got like a Raheem Sterling coming through. Let's see what we can do to build around this player and how to further his potential going forward. And Pep Guardiola did an amazing job with him and continues to do so, which is great. But then 5 years down the line, 6 years down the line, Jack Grealish comes into the team. He's someone who likes to hold the ball. He's someone who likes to draw fouls. We haven't really had someone like that since Wayne Rooney, I would say. So that's something that we could build around as well. But you're just there thinking, make it more of a unit. Make it more of a unit where we're a team where we can keep possession of the ball. We can play as a unit. But the fact that all of these players can play individually and they can have that freedom to play. Is that when we saw Bukayo Saka in that Czech Republic game? It's like a kid on the playground against that left back for the whole game. Yeah. He was just there like, I've just got something to worry about. Let me worry about him. And let's go for it. And it was brilliant to see him. It was fantastic to see how he was playing that game with such freedom and such joy as a kid would at that age, which is fantastic.
Yeah. I give Southgate some credit for that. I'll be real. I think what I've been saying, I think England are incorporating both now, which is why the last few tournaments have done fairly well. Ooh.
Come on, Sadio.
Coming up, man.
Sadio.
Egypt, all they're doing is just trying to stir everything.
Yeah, they're trying to stir it. They're trying to drag it around.
That's all. They're like,
ridiculous,
man.
I told you, they're just extra time FC. They're literally just extra time FC. They want it to happen. What was he going to say to the coach? He's going to send this one off as well. Like Carlos Queiroz,
Why is he smiling as well? I don't like it, bro.
Sleazy. It's some sleazy guy. It's some sleazy guy. He's just there like, yeah, I know what's going to happen now. Some sleazy guy. But no, it's literally just like you said as well. Like every team, you can think about an identity. You can give an elevator pitch in every single country besides England of how they play, or the best moments of what they've played in the football team, the football tournament. Because I don't think, like, I think over the last couple of years, you can say we're a counter-attacking side, set piece side, but it's not nice to be known as something like that.
Yeah.
Because when you're thinking about like the 2018 World Cup, set piece goal, set piece goal, set piece goal, set piece goal.
Yeah. No, but I get why. I get that was a transition. And, you know, annoyingly, that's a lot of the time how you win tournaments. It's like solid defense, just get the lucky goal. Or not lucky because it's practice on the training pitch, but, you know what I mean? Not an open play goal or like a deflection or something. That's how to win tournaments. And that's why I genuinely thought before the tournament started that we'd win Euro 2020 or Euro 2021. But I've got my other reasons for that. But now that people actually think England are going to win the World Cup, it's hard for me to see that they will. But I made a prediction on away games. It was like years ago, actually. 2 years ago now. And Sean was like, "Nah, I'm crazy. Saying that England are going to win one out of the next 3 international tournaments. So yeah, Euros first, World Cup this year, or the next Euros. And it's weird because it's really come to fruition now, like in terms of England getting far. I just feel like I don't know if they can handle that pressure, but I'm not going to go back on my prediction. But my prediction is based on the Under-17 World Cup, man. I feel like there was a pattern between, I think France won the Under-17 World Cup a few years before.
Oh man! Oh,
that was a chance.
That guy would have. Every single woman in the country would have wanted to marry that guy. If it went in. Marriage proposal after marriage proposal would happen tomorrow in Egypt.
That's hilarious, bro.
What is that? As a header, as a man headering the ball, you can't be just unless he was off balance. It looked off balance from the replay, to be fair. Come on. It's like straight, it looked harder to miss that than actually hit it to the side where it went, but probably good defending as well.
Yeah.
To keep it that way. No, you were saying under-17.
Under-17 World Cup. I think France won the one before the 2018 World Cup, and then they won that. I think it was similar with Germany winning the Under-17 before they won in 2014. So it's like, I was like, okay, England happened to have won the Under-17 World Cup. I remember being in Newcastle and watching the final against Spain and seeing Phil Foden just doing like a masterclass, to be honest. I was sad that Sancho wasn't there because I think, I don't know, he just had to play for Dortmund. Like they didn't really want to let him go to the international Under-17 World Cup. But the team looked good. I was like, okay, if this next batch is going to come through, like in the next 5 years, which it almost is now pretty much, then yeah, they're going to win the next World Cup. The reason why I suggested that they might win the last Euros was because the final was in Wembley. But this is a tournament that I thought that, yeah, they'll come good. The only thing is like a lot of people are actually expecting them to do well now because of the last few tournaments. So they don't have to handle that pressure.
Trust they don't need to let you down there. And they had a good pass.
It's a simple one. It's a simple ball.
Now I know why Kez from Two Maggies Up Top says he just can't pass forward. He'll choose not to pass it forward, and he'll tell the other players to pass it forward for him. Yeah. I get that. But no, I get that as well. It's a good reason behind it as well. But I'm just there thinking there's so many what ifs, because when you're thinking about how we played in that final, objectively speaking, it was a park the bus job for a good 60, 70 minutes after we scored and trying to get back into the game afterwards. Because I'm just there thinking that we had the amazing amount of attacking talent, but as we mentioned before earlier on this recording, not many registas or midfield maestros in that team to actually hold the ball, because there's big hype on Calvin Phillips after that, the Germany game and after the Croatia game. Those 2 games is where he kind of stood out for me. But I'm just there thinking, is he someone you want to hang your hat on to hold the ball, keep the ball in possession? No. Probably not. Mason Mount wasn't one of them. That was probably his worst game in an England shirt, in my opinion, that final. And I really like Mason Mount, but I think Mason Mount, Jack Grealish, Phil Foden. I think Foden was injured for that final, so he didn't get in the squad or anything. Or I can't remember, to be fair. But we needed a midfielder who could hold the ball up and draw fouls and slow the game down. Mason Mount wasn't it, and Calvin Phillips wasn't really it. And Declan Rice, we know, is a holding midfielder. So it wasn't one of them ones that we thought, oh, we could have someone against the likes of Jorginho and Verratti to play against them. It was more we just needed to survive them. And that's the mentality we went to in a home game at Wembley, which I feel like we kind of robbed ourselves in that way.
Robbed ourselves. That's a good phrase. I'm always like skeptical when you take the lead early. I feel like a lot of players like rest on their laurels, even unwillingly, like subconsciously, just like, okay, we've done the hard part, just hold up. Like, hold it on for.
Good defending. Been everywhere.
Yeah, just like rest on their laurels, man. And like, I think it was like in the 4th minute or something like that. I remember being at my friend's flat, and like he went with a girl to the corner shop. He was like, I had just come, and he was like, "Oh, do you wanna come to the shop?" I was like, "No, I didn't see the match." I think he came like 2 minutes after the goal. He was like, "What's all that noise down the street?" Because walking down the street, and every household was making noise. And I was just like, Mane is tricky. Yeah, man.
I just don't want one of those free kicks from Ghana Gay again. Just a proper free kick this time. Mane's done the hard work, but that was like with us as well. Like you're just there thinking like, oh yeah, it's gonna happen. But then you remember back in 2018 with Trippier scoring that free kick, and then Kane resting on his laurels, trying to cut in and score the goal as well. If he passed it to Sterling, it would have been 2-0 in the first half. We didn't concede until the second half, so we had all the chances in the first half. Lingard had a chance as well, and Ali had a chance as well. But it was they were just resting on their laurels in terms of.
I've seen Sterling Sky like open goals to like from like 2 yards out.
Yeah. He did that against Porto in the Champions League.
Yeah, but
he did that against Burnley as well. Hit it wide. Oh, wide again. Come on.
They need to stop shooting from free kicks. Just play it out.
Just play it out. Or just do one of those things. Oh, this guy knows what he's doing.
No, but he's got like a massive bruise.
Yes.
You see that?
I saw that. It's quite dark.
Yeah. That's cool.
Been their best player, the keeper as well.
For sure.
Literally just keeping the game in.
See their expressions on their faces, yeah. I feel their pain still. I can empathize. Oh, Salah's changing his boots.
Is this a marketing thing?
Probably.
Like Pele did in the World Cup when he was just there, like, oh yeah, I got to tie my boots before we start the game, and everyone's just looking at those Puma boots. Oh, mum, I want to get those Puma boots. But obviously, older people. Yeah, sub goalie looks like he's warming up.
Yeah, but their sub goalie's always good.
He's ready. He's ready. Now this guy's given everything for his country now. So if he comes off, it'll be quite sad for him, to be fair, because he's done very well this tournament.
Really well. Like, I remember him over the first goalkeeper, but I think even the first goalkeeper did pretty well, from what I heard. But,
It's probably the first time I've seen in the tournament when a country uses all 3 of their goalkeepers. Because I'm the kind of guy that's like, just take 2 goalkeepers and have an extra player outside.
Yeah.
You never know where you're going to need someone. And
that
3rd keeper is just there for training.
Yeah. Was it Equatorial Guinea? Their left back went in goal.
Comoros.
It was Comoros, yeah. Mad. Like, credit to them. Credit to the guy, man. He held it down.
There's that funny bit. Did you see when someone was going to shoot against them and he put his hands behind his back because he still thought he was a defender? And I just went past him as well. Pure innocence right there as well.
That's sweet. Ooh. Champions League starting soon, isn't it? Starting next week.
Yeah, next week, 2 weeks time should be good. No, it shouldn't be good because we've got Atletico Madrid, and I'm not very confident about that. Objectively, it will be very good, but for Manchester United, I will not be. I'll not be confident.
Ronaldo magic, man. He's made for the Champions League.
I think it's
as well.
I think he's saving himself for that as well.
Yeah.
If Varane and Ronaldo can deliver Cavani a Champions League, that's kind of Cavani and De Gea deserve a Champions League. That's how I see it.
Yes. Ibra's never won one either. I feel like certain players, it's just mad that they've never won the Champions League, man.
Ronaldo, Nazario, who's never won one.
Yeah, that one really surprised me as well because it's like he'd been at teams where it was like the year before they'd won or the year after or something like that. It's crazy.
Michael Owen is funny. He moved to Real Madrid from Liverpool because he thought, the Galacticos were going to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
Guess what happens in the year he leaves? Liverpool won the Champions League.
Yeah.
With Milan Baroš and Harry Kewell up front. They didn't need Michael Owen.
Australian.
Vladimir Spitzer, Steve Finnan in that team. Beating the legendary AC Milan side of 2005. They became legends themselves.
What's that like? I don't think there's an equivalence now because there's a top 6. But no, actually, no. That's probably like Tottenham winning the Champions League against like Real Madrid maybe in the final. Like
it was kind of like Leicester winning against Chelsea in the FA Cup final last season.
Yeah. But the thing with that though is like Chelsea have been really inconsistent the last couple of years. I know they always like win something, but like Leicester have been. That is probably a good analogy because Leicester have been pretty good overall in the last few years. So it's not like crazy, but it's like, whoa, like.
And then they sold their defender Harry Maguire for 80 million, unfortunately to us. So we got robbed of 80 million. And then they rebuilt from that as well, which was
exactly.
They literally did rebuild. They rebuilt a brand new training facility.
Yeah.
From the money that they got from Harry Maguire, which is incredible.
Well spent, and they got Wesley Fofana. Ciancio, I don't think he's that good, but he did a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just run well.
Yeah, until today when they got battered 4-1 by Nottingham Forest.
Jimmy Garner. I didn't see it now, but
they lost 4-1 to Nottingham Forest away. Incredible.
I heard, like Sean was like, huh? Like, what happened there? You know when you don't watch the match and you just see the result, you're like, context, please.
Yeah. It's like, did someone get sent off? What happened? A couple of penalties? It's like yesterday, I wasn't really following it, but then I saw the goals, the games. I was like, 2-1 after extra time, West Ham against Kidderminster. 2-1, Kepa saves the penalty. I'm like, Chelsea struggled against Plymouth. I was like, literally, what is that volley?
Yeah. Their passing is really good, though. Like, I like their passages of play. Just the execution of the finishing, been poor.
Their technical ability has been one of the best I've seen in the tournament.
Yeah. But they're the highest ranked African team, though, in the FIFA World Rankings, if that even means anything. But I guess it says something.
Something for a reason, which is something for everyone to look into as well. But no, it's 5 minutes away from extra time now, are we? Is it going to be a long evening? 5 minutes. Come on, I need it. If
someone gets a goal in the next 2 minutes, like they've won.
It'll be GG.
That's obvious to say, but like we've seen, Cameroon came back from 3 goals down. I think 2 goals were like a minute apart or something like that. But I just feel like the way this game's gone, there's no chance of anyone coming back. But stranger things have happened.
Yeah, it's AFCON. You expect the unexpected. But no, you were saying, sorry, Champions League is coming back in a couple of weeks as well. I want to do more of these watch-alongs as well, but for the objective games, like the bigger games in the Champions League, because I think it will be very fun to get reactions of like Mbappe and Vinicius as well, seeing some of these players. Like, because the best thing about the round of 16, one of my favorite bits is the fact you have the week break between the 2 sets of games.
Yeah.
You got 8 games, I think. And they're just set up like 4 on 1 week, 4 on the next week of the first leg.
Yeah.
But they're not all together. So you get to appreciate a lot more games properly as well, which is quite fun for me because I'm just there like, I get to watch all of these games. It'll be quite fun. And you get to learn a bit more about these players as well. But who are you kind of looking forward to seeing in the next round of the Champions League, objectively speaking?
Objective. It's my favorite part of like favorite season in football, like when the Champions League comes back, to be fair. Who am I looking forward to? I guess PSG will be an interesting one. Not sure how long Neymar's out for, to be honest.
He's out until he's partied for his sister's birthday. We all know this. Every February it needs to be done.
That is true. PSG will be an interesting one to watch. It's so hard for me to be objective because of like Liverpool.
Don't be objective to them. Just go for it.
I hate them. Yeah. But they're interesting to watch. I can't lie. And I hate. So that's what I mean. But I can't be objective because, like, my Man United hat would say, "No, I don't want to." But I'm proper interested in their pictures, to be honest. Like, I really am. Like, especially with Luis Diaz coming through and the striker that Man City signed. Like, he's not an Aguero, but he won't be able to play for in the Champions League, will he?
No, Julian Alvarez isn't actually at the club. He got loaned back straight away to River Plate, so he's not coming until the summer.
Oh, swear down. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see him in general though. Just based on what I've heard.
You were right though. He's not a Sergio Aguero just because he's like Argentine and from River Plate. He plays all across the front three, so it's pretty versatile that way.
Exactly.
Pep will like him as a roulette merchant.
Yeah, definitely. Like, very good link up wise. But other than that, my guy Benzema, and Ajax as well. I think those four, other than Man United, so those five other than Man United, which is pretty much everyone to be honest. I'm looking forward to Benzema, Man United, like what Liverpool do, then Mbappe, and then Ajax. Like, those are the things that I'll be paying attention to.
Yeah, because the first round, like you said, it's in 2 weeks, and it actually just comes up quick after the winter break as well. So, PSG, Real Madrid first game, then Sporting Lisbon versus
that's an interesting
Man City. I'm gonna miss those games. I'll be at the Man United v Brighton game, so I'll miss the PSG game.
Do you have a season ticket, by the way?
Yeah, the other one is Sporting versus Man City. Man City are quite funny, to be fair, because they sell their tickets on student apps like Student Bean and Uni Days and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's quite funny. And I'm just there thinking, like, if you were a student in Manchester and you didn't really have anything to do, spending 15 quid on watching Manchester City, who objectively speaking play very good football. They're actually very fun to watch. But as a Man United fan, obviously I detest them and I hate the way that they're doing so well. Again, but you're just like a couple of my friends at university. They're just like, oh yeah, I went to watch a Man City game on weekend. Saw it on uni. I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, that's how much it costs. I'm like, that's insane. I'm like, Man United don't do anything like that. You need a proper membership. But Man City, you can just go, yeah, I'll go to watch a game. See someone get battered 4-0.
I've got membership at Man United, but yeah, still hard to get a ticket, man. But
I feel for you. I have a couple of friends in London as well, memberships, Man United, but it's just that extra journey is like one of them things. You know, when you have to go on the way back home, you're just there like, oh, it's such a long feeling. But as a member, I appreciate the fact that they need to do more in terms of their away fans. Like, you know, when you're a member, because anyone can be a member, it's perfectly fine. But they need to do more in terms of letting away, giving away tickets, to be fair. Because there's so many people that have memberships that want to go to away games, but they just don't have that limit to do that because it needs to be season ticket holders as well.
Yeah, not for real. But I actually like the journey though, because I normally like stay for like the weekend or something like that.
Oh, that's good. That's okay.
Yeah, but yeah, Jay, I genuinely agree with that. There's Man United tickets are like the hardest to get. But yeah, like most of the games that I enjoy most are pretty much like, the Champions League nights. And that's not something that I've never seen a Man United Champions League game in person.
Oh my days.
But yeah, that like them against Atletico Madrid, it should be an interesting one, man. Like I don't know what to expect, man. I think we tell ourselves we do know what to expect, but that's the fun part about it. Like there's always going to be something unexpected.
Yeah, it's really good the way you put it as well. Like, it's just you tell yourself this is what's going to happen. I could just tell myself, Simeone is going to come, park the bus after a second leg away, wins 1 or 2-0, and we won't get through. But I'm just there thinking we've still got Ronaldo, still got all these players that we have at our disposal. It only takes a couple good games against the likes of Burnley, Southampton, Burnley, Southampton, and Brighton to get back into form. And it shouldn't be the worst things to get back into form. Go on. Oh, good defending again from Egypt. 1 minute left in the game. There's extra time. Senegal know what's happening. They know they're being sucked into this. Yeah, really good defending there.
What a force!
Look at that. Great ball in. But no, even if you were to come to a Man United game, like for me, I like midweek games a lot because when you're under the lights at Old Trafford, it's so fun. The atmosphere is always better than like a weekend game, unless it's a big game.
Yeah.
But the fans are like, they're all tired from their day at work and school and uni. They got a lot of frustration to roar out as well. And it happens across England a lot as well, because weekend games are just a lot quieter in general than Champions League games. And for me, my mentality is like, I'm never sure when Man United are next going to be in the Champions League. So I'm never sure if we're going to be back next season or the season after. So got to enjoy the moments for what we have as well, because I don't waste my money going to Europa League games when I'm just like, no, I don't need that negativity in my life. European nights and Champions League nights at Old Trafford, which is the case. But it's going to be fun for some of these teams, like Borussia Dortmund and Barcelona not being in the Champions League.
Yeah. I'm just happy because I need Barcelona to be humbled. Because a lot of people are like, what? Barcelona not in the Champions League? I'm like, Man United have not been in the Champions League like consistently for like 10 years. Yeah. Like big teams it can happen to. So people are forgetting, I think Man United not to be in the Champions League is a big deal. So like other big teams can suffer as well. They can hold that. Oh, it's fine. Like deal with it. You know what I mean? Like it's like only Real Madrid and like Bayern pretty much who at this point haven't experienced that like that timeout, if you will.
Real Madrid nearly had it last season as well. They nearly had it where they were nearly out the Champions League, but they came back and they got into it, which is good.
Oh, Real Madrid. Yeah, I remember that, but they just don't.
They just know how to win, which is what they do. They even got to the semi-final last season, which is brilliant. And I'm just there thinking, like, Barcelona, where they are in the league, they can still get top four, which is fine. They'll secure it. I think they will. But for that one half season in the Europa League, it'll be quite fun to see how they carry on. And I do want them to see how it's like when they're playing all these random country teams in these random countries. It'd be very fun to see. And it'd be cool to see them play against West Ham. That'd be so funny if we saw West Ham and Barcelona.
So I remember my friend got me a ticket to a friendly like in primary school actually, and it was like Crystal Palace versus Inter Milan. I was like, it was at Selhurst Park. I was like, how are you getting me? No, not even that. How are Inter Milan playing Crystal Palace? It was a friendly, yeah. Firmino Martins was there. Adriano was there. Like when Adriano came off the coach, everyone was gassed. I'm like, and I'm like, what a matchup! Like Crystal Palace versus Inter Milan is so random, and that's when Pro Evo was really big as well. So like everyone just loved to play as Martins because he was like 99 pace and acceleration, and Adriano's shot power was mad.
99 shot power as well.
Yeah.
You had Recoba as well, who had like 99 agility or something, so you could just go weaving in and out of players.
What? This is a cheat code, bro.
No, that's literally it. The creator of Pro Evo was an Inter Milan fan, so that's why he had those stats on there as well. That's the story behind it. Yeah.
Swear down. Oh, I never knew that.
That's why everyone just got big on Inter Milan when playing it, and you had like all the proper faces for PS2 at the time for Inter Milan, and you just had like. I only found that out this year, like 2022. I found out this year. I'm just like, that's literally how it is.
I'm mind blown. Where's the source? Is it a solid source as well? That you found out?
Yeah, it was on. I saw it somewhere. We had it. Well, not we had it. It was on there earlier. Let me try and find it.
That's mad.
Pro Evo.
Sometimes you get like perks and stuff from being a big club because people are fans of you, like influential people.
Yeah, the story of why Adriano and Inter Milan was so popular. The producer Shingo Takasuka is an Inter Milan fan, so not the head, a producer.
Yeah, mad.
That one doesn't let me copy and paste. That one doesn't. This one does. Let me send it to you. Chat.
There you go. It's penalty, man. I hope we don't regret it, man.
They're regretting it already. You're looking at it thinking, what the hell is going on? Like, can you not see that they're doing this to you all the time? I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed at Sadio Mane for missing that penalty. You were just there like, you just wanted him to do something good. Just do it, please. I needed it to be done. Didn't happen. Poor Sadio. I hope he doesn't get sleepless nights about this. But if he does, hopefully it affects Man United and Liverpool can just like drop off and Man United can come through. I love Sadio Mane, though. That's the thing. He's such a humble guy as well.
Yeah.
Such a nice guy off the field. And you see that as well with the way that he is around different people. But
for real.
Oh man, this is crazy. This guy's got some random bar on his arm. It looks like a watch. Blue one.
I had that in when I went to O2 to watch the Wizkid concert. It's like it glows up when certain things. I don't know if it's the same thing, but it glows when like certain moments of the event happen. So okay. I don't know if that was because they're about to go into extra time or I don't know. But
that's really cool. Like it could be like, oh yeah, the main event's coming on, goes red, or
basically,
for this it would be like extra time goes green type thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Could exhausting. All these players just look exhausted. They've had such a long tournament. Egypt has just been playing 120 minutes and penalties are standard. They're used to it.
They're used to it. That's the thing.
El Neni still hasn't passed forward that much in this tournament as well. So
yeah, it's not a game, man. It's
not in his nature. Come on, Senegal. Oh, don't. Not with Eric Jemba. Not with Senegal. Oh, no, he's Cameroonian, wasn't he? He's from Cameroon. Eric Jemba.
Yeah, he's from Cameroon, yeah.
Don't worry, that wasn't me being casually racist. I just genuinely forgot where Eric Jemba was from.
To be honest, their flags are similar and they're both known as the Lions.
Mm. Go! Dieng! Oh, save!
That was a good save, though. I can't. He went low and hard across goal. I can't really mad.
This Egyptian Buffon is just continuing to do it. It's crazy.
It's true. He actually kind of looks like Buffon, like when his beard, like when you look at it from a certain angle, he looks like
that strand of hair that he had. It's like 2017 Buffon. You were just there, like he's been watching Buffon videos in his prime.
Yeah, the strand of hair is getting to me, bro.
But no, Eric Jemba got me thinking. We didn't really have that many African players, did we, for Man United under Sir Alex Ferguson?
We haven't. Yeah, it's not
even after Sir Alex Ferguson. We haven't had that many. Like my favorite one.
After, but we never had like an AFCON issue. I just always remember that. But yeah.
Do you know how I remember that? I remember that because Man United had Quinton Fortune for a good number of years, and South Africa never made it to AFCON when he was there.
Yeah.
So we never lost him in January. So it's tactical genius from Sir Alex Ferguson right there. South Africa, unless he was in that 2010 team, which he wasn't, he retired by then. We just said like, it's not going anywhere. So it was good.
Yeah. Now we've got Eric Bailly,
Ahmad Diallo, Ivory Coast, both of them. Hannibal is from Tunisia. He was at the tournament as well. He's in the first team now, which is good. He's getting some game time on the rag.
Because he only changed his allegiance. Well, not changed his allegiance. He decided to play for Tunisia like last summer or like late last year. So he could have easily played for France. But I rate it when young players choose an African team early, like or South American team early. But Africa is more relevant just because a lot of them might be born in Europe, whereas a lot of the South American players are probably born in South America or maybe in like Latin part of Europe, like Portugal, Spain. But yeah, like for Hannibal to growing up in Paris, but choose Tunisia, you know his household was Tunisia through and through. You know, like he was eating couscous, like he was having like everything traditional, like fully, like there wasn't the French. There was no doubts in his mind, and I respect it.
You could tell if he chose France, all of his uncles and aunts would have just disowned him. That's not my nephew. He's not representing the country. They had a big family discussion, like 15, 20 family members at minimum. Like, where you playing, France or Tunisia? You know what? To go into France. Nope, you're not my son if you play for France. choose your parents' home country.
We came to this country to give you opportunities. We didn't come for you to forget your roots, for you to forget who you are. Like
that's exactly it.
I feel like most African players, or like let's say English players of African origin, they choose England, and it's fair enough because if you come through a system, it's like it's easy. But like a lot of them end up thinking, I'm not even getting game time, man. Like.
Yeah, like
they don't rate me.
If you take Aaron Wan-Bissaka, for example, he's Congolese, isn't he?
Yeah.
He could have given his allegiance to Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo,
yeah.
or England. But I think he's just given England as default, but he's still considering going to Congo. I'm like,
He should. He's
he's like seventh choice right back for England at the moment.
That's the baddest thing, right? And he plays for like the biggest club in England. So, you know, sometimes there are loopholes, like you might not be that good, but just by politics, you're playing for a big club. But he's not even getting game time, even though he plays for Man United. Like, so, you know, and yeah, he'll be good for Congo as well. Like, and I always feel this with Nigeria as well, because like Nigeria got the biggest population in Africa, so we're always going to have good players, and we're always expected to reach a final in the AFCON, but we always disappointment. Anything less is a disappointment. But I always felt like if we had a lot of the players that play in the Premier League, like especially the young ones coming through, like a big batch of young talent coming through, we'll be bossing the AFCON, man. Like I really do feel that. Because right now it's like there's a lot of players who are recognizable, but they're not the best of where they're playing. So like let's say
it will be
our talisman. And Ian actually, I think he's very good, like really, really good. So I think his hold-up play, his touch, link-up, finishing, I think it's all very sound. But like, that's our talisman. And everyone else is like at a, you know, European top league, but just no, good player, I'll say. Like, you know what I mean? Oshiman's doing really well. Iwobi actually he's born in Lagos, actually. He was born in Nigeria, but he grew up in London. But he's like the only one who grew up in England who decided to choose Nigeria. But I think that's family politics, though. Like when your uncle is JJ Okocha, there's no, like, you can't really be playing for anyone other than Nigeria, to be honest. So.
Just disrespecting the family heritage right there, if you were to do that. But no, I was saying to Kez before, I was like, would Osimhen and Dennis that you missed out with in this tournament as well? That's a lot of firepower and a lot of goals. Got creativity in that final third that you missed out as well. So having Iheanacho in that team, would that have been a bit different for you in terms of your starting lineup? Osimhen starting up front, Iheanacho on the wing, or two up front?
Iheanacho would have definitely like been up top. Like he would have been a second striker because his link up and hold up play is really good. Underrated, I feel. And instead of Awoni, it would have been Osimhen. So yeah, just more firepower, more runs in behind. Yeah. See, everyone's got the watch, so I do think it is related to the events.
They had a lot of jewelry on, and then they just had that watch as well. So it must be like a nice little souvenir to come into Cameroon. It probably saves them from doing announcements as well. The announcer must be really bored of their job, so they just had that watch as well, which is good.
For real. And the way Egypt have been playing this whole tournament, they just knew it would be like a snore fest, man. Like Egypt have just been cop blockers, man. The biggest cop blockers of goals, bro. Like it's mad.
You're just there, like, I want to have fun. I want to enjoy this tournament. And some games have been revolutionary in terms of watching this, and some have just been uninspiring, like Egypt. But you'll see after every Egypt game, just Mohamed Salah celebrating, like with the background that I have as well. I'm just there, like, yeah.
Without context, yeah, like if you didn't see the score lines or you didn't like watch any of the games as well, but you just saw the pictures at the end of the game, you would have thought like
Mohamed Salah's a goat.
Yeah, Mo Salah's a goat. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, he did it for Liverpool. He did it for his country. He's got to be one of the best players in world football. I'm like, yeah, it's true. But what's he done during this game? The only time we shouted him out was when he had that shot that went inside the post and Mendy saved it.
Yeah.
That's the only time I can remember.
Like that only shot on target.
The only shot on target, and when he went to chat with the goalkeeper as well. You're just there like that. That's the only time I've seen him. 98 minutes of ghost in this game, Mohamed Salah. Crazy.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, but they've got no service, to be fair. Like, their players can't provide anything, bro.
That's what I'm enjoying about this, the fact that they're actually just playing to their strengths as well. So you can respect them in that respect, but you can't really enjoy it. Shouldn't have said enjoy it, but you can respect it in that way as well. It should be quite fun. Oh, my days. 98 minutes in. I'm looking forward to seeing how. Oh no, that's not a foul. Go. It's very expensive. No, this will be expensive. It will be expensive. Pass it, pass it, pass it. What are you doing? Now I just want a goal. I just want a goal. We're 99 minutes in. I just want to see something fresh happen. Trezeguet nearly.
It's sad when a whole tournament is won on penalties. Mm-hmm. That is sad. That could have gone in as well. I didn't realize it got a deflection because I think it would have wrong-footed Mendy.
Yeah.
Low key.
All these players are just like dropping down, and you can see them just rolling their stocks up. They still want a second or two just to relax. Mane's still buzzing about, but
yeah, he's a bumblebee. Ooh!
Come on.
Composure.
Again. Gabaski saves it. The Egyptian Buffon is just there again. He did that one for the camera with that little roll around as well.
Play though.
Good nutmeg, good cross.
Why are you saving everything? Stop. Like, he's probably one of them ones, yeah? He's dead for his club. Like, he's terrible. For Egypt, for his nation, for his country, he's on steroids.
It reminds me of Tim Howard for the USA against them. Was it against Ghana? And against Belgium. Oh, over the bar again. Miscommunication. And you're just there like, yeah, he's not like that in the Premier League, but all Americans were getting gassed on social media. He'll meeting Barack Obama as well. What happened when he came back to Everton? Second choice keeper. Second choice for like half the season. You're like, oh, he's done out here. He's had his time in the sun in the World Cup. Same with what's his face? Ochoa, the Mexican keeper that you see.
Oh yeah.
Time and just like, where's he at now? Second choice keeper for someone in France. You're like, oh, he'll be doing a job somewhere, but
like it's crazy the passion that people get. Like it's a different energy when they play for the nation, and I respect it, man. Like they clearly feel home, you know. But it's still like, right, how come you can't produce this all the time?
That's one of the things I appreciate now about this England side, because you can actually see the passion when they're actually playing. Yeah. And it's actually brilliant because you're just there like them vibing with the fans after the Germany game against Denmark as well. Fantastic. And you can actually see they appreciate it a lot more. In previous generation, you would never see that. I'm just there like, this is what we want to see and this is what we appreciate, which is brilliant. But you could tell like a lot of South American sides, they just love it when they go back to see their other countrymen as well at training camps, at qualifications, everything. African teams especially, like that as well.
Like being known as like the king of Africa is a different flex, man. So I can see why. Like I think probably especially if they grew up there, like just being known and like celebrated as that guy. Like Eto'o, he did so much in Europe. So much, but a top scorer of AFCON of all time, he's lauded in Cameroon, like Lord proper. You know what I'm saying? The influence that he has is beyond like football. Like I'm trying to think. Rooney's okay now. I don't know if that's a good example. Rooney's like obviously the top scorer for England, United, but he's coaching now, but he's not on like a divine status. Let me put it that way.
Yeah,
like Maradona, divine status. Eto'o, wherever he walks in like Cameroon, red carpet vibes. Like even to go toilet, red carpet. Like it's a different sort of level. Whereas in England, I don't know. Like even if you're a top scorer, greatest player ever, like you're not lauded like that.
Would you say something like Didier Drogba as well for the Ivory Coast?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a perfect example. Perfect. I was going to mention him as well, but yeah.
The fact that he stopped the civil war and he's brokered peace so many times in Ivory Coast as well. He's helped build so much and do much for his country. And literally, like you just said, wherever he'd go in the Ivory Coast, just red carpet treatment everywhere. But if he was to be in England, it'd just be like, oh, can I get a picture?
Right. Like, he has more influence than the president in Ivory Coast. That's what I mean. And like, if Mane was to win this, like, I mean, he already is respected more than the president, but it's crazy how football has that influence, though. Like, this 100%. Is a game where you're kicking a ball, and like, I don't want to like belittle the game because obviously I love it. And I actually really hate it when people say, "Oh, all you do is kicking the ball back in there." I'm like, you can kind of do that with a lot of professions, like, or in terms of arts, like, you know, it's about how good you are at doing that. But the fact that something like that can give you not just status, but power and influence. It's mad.
That wasn't a dive, man. It wasn't a dive. Two of them had it. Come on.
He's so humble, bro. Like,
Yeah.
just the guy shouting at him, and he's just like,
yeah, it's cool. He could have got a second yellow there as well, Sadio Mane. That's quite worrying. But no, if Mane was winning for Senegal, it'd literally just been it'd be on that status as well, I think, as well.
Yeah.
He's kind of got that status already in Egypt. Mane has as well. But it would take him to, like you said,
elevate even more.
Phenomenon status.
Because a lot of these countries, like, people don't rate their presidents at all. Like, it's unfortunate. Like, there's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of, like, just, you know, the country could be run in better ways. So they just don't trust the politicians anyway. So for you to bring such joy to your country in other means, like, you're, you know, and they're one of the people. A lot of the time, they're just like people from the street in that country. So people can relate to you. And, you know, what does Mane drive? I don't know. He might have a decent car, but I know, like, a lot of his salary he doesn't use for himself. Like, he just uses it to build stuff in Senegal. You know what I'm saying?
Builds hospitals, builds hospices, schools, all of that, which is brilliant.
Yeah, I don't think it's like...
And you'll see him like every other Friday when he goes to Friday prayers in Liverpool at just like normal, like just like the local masjid and the local mosque and stuff. And you're just there like, yeah, he doesn't have to go anywhere specific to pray. He'll just pray with everyone else, which is great.
I love
Shows
that.
the humility of it. Mohamed Salah, on the other hand, man's in GQ posing with supermodels, and you're like, that's not very halal, is it? That's not very Islamic.
I didn't see that. So.
Married man doing something like that, you lose a lot of respect from a lot of Muslim followers.
It changed him, man. It changed
him so much. And then is there like celebrating Christmas as well? I'm like, if there's one thing Muslims don't do, we don't celebrate Christmas because you're celebrating the birth of Christ, and we just say like, that's not what Muslims do. And then you see Mohamed Salah with like the whole red tree, the whole red garms and everything. Merry Christmas, everyone's like, what are you doing? You're meant to be celebrating Eid. Are you the right religion this year or not? Crazy.
The baddest part though, like with Christmas though, is actually just a cultural thing in terms of, like, I guess, the West. So I think it's more Western, like, because I think a lot of Christians don't believe that Jesus was born on that day specifically. So if you want to get technical, it's like he's more conforming, I guess, in a religious way to an extent, but it's very Western, I feel. Because in Australia they have it, but they have it, but it doesn't snow there. But that's on a lot of their adverts, like the snow.
The advertising and the marketing of the whole coat and the beard and stuff.
Glam of it rather than the actual like spiritual element of it. So yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, because I was in South Africa one year when what do we call it? When Christmas happened, and it was just like people going to the beaches, people having barbecues because of the climate that was at the time. I'm just there like, this is a completely different Christmas to what I've ever seen. And the advertising wasn't like it was like Australia or anything like that. It's just they're like, oh yeah, it's just Christmas, have fun, enjoy it. I'm like, wow, it's very laid back here in South Africa. I'm like, really cool how they did it. It's quite fun. Barbecues and beaches, the life.
You can't go wrong with that, to be fair.
Where did you spend Christmas this year? Because I know you went abroad, but I'm not sure if you went abroad before or after.
Yeah, no, I always spend it with my family. So it's normally the day after that I travel. So like, 2 years ago, so where I was Gambia.
Yeah.
And then went to Senegal afterwards. And then 2 years ago, went to Ghana. So it was like the day after Christmas that I flew out. Yeah, it was the day after Christmas. It might have even been that night. But I always spend the day with my family. I know that. But like Gambia was lit. We were there for New Year's as well. Like during the countdown, that was nice.
No, that's something that you want to experience every now and then. Like New Year's in a different country is always a fun vibe. Experiencing differently as well, which is the one. Oh, the second half has just started of extra time. We've had more entertainment talking.
It's been a minute in. I don't even remember which side.
I was just listening and talking to you. I'm like, oh, they kicked off already. TV's right in front of me. And I'm just there like, oh, okay.
That's not. Oh man, it can't go to penalties, man. No.
They're going to penalties. It's inevitable. It's literally going to happen.
Final. Oh, I see. He goes to the floor. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that.
The keeper wants to go to penalties. He wants to be the hero again. He wants those marriage proposals that you get back in Egypt. It's like, no, it's not happening. It's just not happening. You're not getting past me. It's like that tweet that Man United did was like, oh, you cannot get past David De Gea or something. The whole of Egypt will just do the same marketing campaign with this keeper. Incredible.
Man.
We just need one clear-cut chance to have something to talk about in this game because we just don't have it. Tackle. He got the ball. He got the ball. He got the ball. He got the ball. Ref. He got the ball. He got the ball.
Handball, though.
It was a handball by the Egyptian player, and it's just there like, oh, it wasn't a foul. There's a follow through. Such a sleaze bag team, this Egyptian side. Gonna get rattled by loads of Egyptians later when they watch this, like a day or two later. But, like, seriously, when you're watching this Egyptian side, it's just, oh, come on. Look at this guy, it's the hype man. Come on.
He's actually a hype man. But he's his own hype man as well, so I do respect it. But jarring, man. Annoying.
But some of these players in the Senegalese side as well, and the Cameroonian side and the Nigerian side, these are players that you see in like world-class teams. With this Egyptian side that you're seeing, one or two.
For me, it's just Salah. Elneny can't be classified.
That's what I said. World-class sides. I was like, they're in big teams, but he's not the world-class player. Trezeguet.
I don't know about world-class.
That's fine. That was me being politically correct as well. They're just not world-class.
They are recognizable, to be fair.
They're just like decent teams. But you just look at some of these players and you're just thinking, come on, show us more, because it's just not happening for them. They can't get control of the game. They can't get control of the ball. They lose a ball too easily. They loft it far when they shouldn't really need to do that, because they've been playing very good football this whole tournament. There's 10 minutes or 11 minutes left. Ref, what is that? Send him off. Roll around a couple more times as well. Just come on. But the physio just keep faking.
Of the game, fam. Like it's the play acting. That's pretty much what we have to settle for.
And it's that guy coming up again on the side, that sleazebag guy just smiling, the assistant coach. Oh no. They just bounced into each other. Oh my god. That's so close.
I should do a voiceover. Hello. I want to come on.
Is that just let me play? Elneny's not doing anything. I can at least pass forward. Let me run. I'll do it instead of Elneny. Oh man. Mohamed Salah knows he's taking the fifth penalty and he knows he's gonna blast it himself into.
That's what he does. He doesn't miss for me. He just doesn't miss for me.
It's insane. You're literally just there, like he plans this whole 120 minutes. Oh my days.
But yeah, that's it. You know, I think in the England game, against Italy in the final, like I heard a stat saying that. No, I think it was Spain versus Italy, where no team had won 2 consecutive penalty shootouts in any tournament.
Yeah,
it might have been European Championship, but in any tournament is what I remember.
Yeah, because Spain had just won against Switzerland the round before.
Yeah, but it was like Italy won against Spain.
Yeah,
in the penalties, and then so I was like, okay, so that stat must apply for the next one. So I was like, okay, England are gonna play them in the penalties. So like logically, and then they broke a record like that. Like I was like, we're actually cursed. And then like Egypt's obviously beat Ivory Coast on penalties, and they decided to beat Cameroon on penalties as well. And it's just like they can't win 3 in a row, bro. Like they can't win 3 in a row if it does go to penalties. But
it's like Carlos Queiroz just like literally just trained them on penalties, and he just gave this keeper just all the hype in the world. Like, you're the best keeper. You're like the Egyptian Buffon. That's literally what you are. You will save us, and you'll win us the AFCON from this year as well. But no, even with that one as well, it was kind of down to some plays that you're just there thinking like these players aren't going to miss. Switzerland beat France. No, yeah, Switzerland beat France on penalties when Mbappe missed.
Oh yeah,
he lost to Spain, Then Spain lost to Italy.
Yeah.
And that's when the whole...
What? Like,
yeah.
England are so cursed, bro. Like,
yeah. England had to be the one to break that curse as well. And you're just there thinking Saka, Sancho, Rashford especially missing the target. I'll never get that, you know. You know when a professional footballer, misses the target from a penalty. I know you're going to bang it right in the corner, but at least overcompensate, bringing it in a bit more as well. He just dragged it. Ronaldo did it the other day as well against Middlesbrough.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Like,
Langer hitting over the bar.
It depends on the player. Like, Rashford just known for keeping composure in that situation, bro. Like, PSG in the Champions League, like, high pressure moments. Ronaldo done it plenty of times. Like, that's why it surprises me more, not because they're professional, just because of who they are. But
that Mane penalty is very similar to that Rashford versus PSG penalty. Just walks up and blasts it.
Yeah.
Same area as well, like just right of the keeper.
It wasn't side netting, but you know,
it's just pure passion, which was kind of like
literally, because the keeper went the right way for Rashford as well, but it was higher than the keeper went. Like, just
drived it in.
But I think Rashford's was slightly more to the left, but even still, it wasn't like it wasn't in the corner. So, but I love that penalty so much, though, because when it's passion and it goes in and it means that you win, it's like like, if he did it coolly, I would have been gassed too. Like what Fernandes did against Middlesbrough. Like, in that situation, that would be cool too. But there's something about it when it just smash it. It's not in the centre. It's like slightly to the left. And the goalkeeper just can't save it because too much pace. Now, I love Ronaldo's penalty against Middlesbrough in the shootout. Like, that was fire, but should have done it.
Should have done it in the game. I think Mane is going to have that same regret. Should have done it in the game. He might score in the shootout because it's looking that way, unless Salah can get past Koulibaly. No, he can't get past Koulibaly. I think that's going to happen. Mane will score and he'll get all those ironic cheers. Go.
Oh.
The chance was there.
Yeah.
Oh,
touch.
Go on.
Oh, good defending.
Diallo's been solid all game.
Yeah.
Well done.
This tournament, man. Him and Koulibaly been so solid. That's the thing. I wasn't so much worried about Egypt scoring this game, but to be honest, they're not much of a threat for anyone, really.
Yeah.
But it's just funny shootouts, really.
Because I'm there thinking about, Eric Bailly's penalty. Do you see that one for the Ivory Coast against Egypt?
Yeah.
That no-look penalty. Like, who does a penalty like that? That makes no sense.
Silly. Why are you shooting from? Ooh.
Oh, he saved it.
Ooh. You know what you say? Why are you shooting from? Ooh.
That's on recorded. Oh.
You can shoot from there. You can shoot from there.
Look at that swap as well. It went like that.
Yeah. That was a really good strike, bro.
If it bounced in front of the keeper, that would have been a big problem. Those swerving ones that dips as well and bounces.
There's something about when you have a strike, from far, there's a biting point. There's as soon as it leaves your foot, you know if it's going to be a good strike or not. And that's one of the things I like about shooting, like, which is why I said I was good in training, but in the actual match, sometimes not the one. In 5-a-side matches, I'm pretty good, but in 11-a-side,
ref.
Huh?
He died. I'll play it through. So I was trying to play it through for himself. He wanted the glory.
Oh, man.
I wanted to ask you about that as well, because I was thinking from one you told me. Was it more the case that you were overthinking in games compared to like when you're kind of relaxing when you were training? What do you reckon that kind of was when you were playing?
I think innately I'm selfless. I think so you know Hazard's mentality, like I think I just didn't get myself into positions to score as much. And so whereas I was quite
Safe.
Oh my days.
Mendy, Superman.
The way he went on his knees after as well.
So grateful he saved that. And he was as well, look. Wow. Great save. Find had something to do as well. Such a dive, man. Why would you do that? Book him, ref.
But basically, I think in 5-a-sides, because I was quick, to get up and down that sort of pitch was quite easy for me. So I could get myself into positions where I'm like really affecting like the goal, even indoor football. But in 11-a-side, like it's just so much different to 5-a-side.
No.
Even in terms of like gameplay as well. So yeah, I just didn't get the opportunity to shoot as much, I think. Yeah. Right, Egypt are applying pressure now.
They've been waiting for the last 4 minutes of 120 minutes.
Nice. Tuala, 237. He jumped with passion, fam. I know he ain't been doing that all game, bro. But this time he was just like, no.
He's like, my country needs me as well. Bandage around the head as well, hairnet and everything, keeping the blood away.
Oh man!
And there's only 4 players in the box for that as well. You'd have expected a bit more, but you can tell they're so defensive. They're ultra defensive. It's crazy. Could have put more people into that box to go for that header. Divert a couple of defenders. No, that's not the ball, man. Stop. Keep it on the floor. You've been doing well with that all tournament. Ugh. So if you were to play now, like recently, where would you be playing? Would you be playing like 6-a-side in cages? That kind of thing?
Well, my friend started a team last summer. No, 2020 summer.
Yeah.
South Ballers FC, yeah. So when I was like more fit, I'll be playing like 11-a-side like on Sundays, Sunday league,
yeah.
It's in Westford, like I think Woolwich and Eltham league. But then once I got a sprained ankle, I was recovering and doing like 7-a-side games because they literally just built a new rec on my road.
That's brilliant.
And man, I was a bit disappointed like a few years ago because I grew up here, and then basically there was a jungle gym and all that, and I thought, right, they're just taking it down. Like, what are Lambeth doing?
Yeah.
But in the end, like it turned into like 7-a-side pitches, like a few different cages, AstroTurf. I was like, like you can organize matches on Footy Addicts like really easily. This is something that we've needed for a long time. And I see some scouts from Fulham go there as well. So it's really good what they've done. But initially I wasn't really sure about it. But
I'm going to see you playing for Fulham anytime soon. Doing Ian Wright coming to the game quite late.
Very late. Maybe not quite, but I wouldn't mind coaching, maybe getting like a future Fulham or Palace player, United player. That would be amazing.
That'd be sick, because it's like we mentioned to you on our first podcast, we have a chat, that BT documentary of the South London, south of the river, all the ballers coming through, and we're just naming all of them. Again, this was off air as well. For anyone watching, we're talking about how the likes of Ademola Lookman, Jadon Sancho came through there. I think Tammy Abraham is from South London as well. And we're just there like thinking, all because of like a 13 square mile radius.
Yeah, nuts,
all in that South London area, and it's incredible. And it's not like they just became like decent footballers; they became Premier League footballers, Champions League footballers, Champions League winning footballers, England internationals.
Yeah,
so much to learn from it. It's so fascinating to learn as well, because that's how football, again, it just unites everyone. Everyone wants to go and play; they can play.
Facts, yeah. Like a lot of them came through Chelsea as well. I don't know. Their academy is phenomenal in terms of the South England region. They're dominating head and shoulders. Highland is pretty good, to be fair, but Cobham, up north, I'll still say it's Carrington, just because more I think Man City do get a lot of talent, but I feel like not many people make it. I think that's key. I think Man United have more of a track record of people coming through, which is, it's rare to have someone from your academy like each year making it. That's really rare. Like the fact that Liverpool had Gerrard for, he made his career there. Carragher, obviously Trent's like the recent one, but like these are years apart. Carragher and Gerrard were similar times, but that's not bad. However, like with Man United, it's constant. It's constant. Man City, they got Foden now, but it's not really a thing. So Yeah, man. I think Man United have got the best. Yeah, but do you remember Mahrez's comments a few years ago about England not having any street football, which is why they think, yeah. And I think, I guess he just was living in Leicester, so maybe he just wasn't exposed to what there was outside of that town. But
I think what he was kind of saying was that you don't really see that on the pitch in the Premier League, but when you see it nowadays, I can kind of agree in one respect that it's like you're kind of looking at it thinking you see them kind of getting it coached out of them. When you see the flair of Sancho, when you see the flair of some of these players at the younger age, it kind of gets coached out of them. They lose their confidence to do the skills. They know the fans are getting on their back and stuff like that as well. But when he's at a successful club like Leicester, when they won the league, when he was it, he was just there like, yeah, the fans can appreciate it because it's something fresh for them to see.
Yeah.
Great. And then when he went to Man City, Pep loves that kind of stuff as well. He loves the players to express themselves, but within his system, which is great.
Is that what you meant when you said it? I don't actually remember the quote, to be fair.
No, it was kind of like a bit of both in a way, because I'm just there thinking like, if you want to see more street ballers, you see them more like the Hatem Ben Arfa type players, or you see more in terms of like that actually exposed them on the pitch, like Adel Taarabt as well. That type of thing, which is great. But you also see it coached out of them in academies, because like we mentioned before, they start their footballing career around 5. They get into an academy around 8, 5, 8, and then like by the time they're 18, that's 10 years of football of them being coached in a certain type of way to fit a certain type of mold. And if stepovers and roulettes and inverted stepovers and all of that kind of jazz, 5-star skills is coached out of them, then it's not as fun to watch, but it's more of a professional footballer type thing as well. And we've seen less of that in the Premier League, unfortunately, which isn't great.
Yeah.
In other news, it's gone to penalties like we predicted at the beginning anyway.
We knew this though. It's amazing though. How can we call it?
It's like Abu Gabal is going to just save everything. The Egyptian Superman is going to be here. We could have just started this watch along at right now as well, because we kind of knew it was going to happen. But it's been a fun conversation either way. But that penalty save against Mane, you're just there like, what in the hell, man? The game could have been over. It would have been GG. Incredible, but no, it's going to be fun. I think Egypt will win. I think it will be 3 times in a row. Mendy though, one of the best keepers that we've seen the last 12 months. That's got to be something. We got to see Edouard Mendy do what he needs to do.
Agreed. Well, that looks like royalty, man. Looks like royalty.
The royal box.
You basically got the presidents, the respective countries, Cameroon and Eto. Basically, the missuses. Alright. So wait, Senegal haven't gone to penalties. No, they haven't gone to penalties this tournament.
First time for them, so they're fresh with it. Mohamed Salah's choosing the way. How are they letting a drone on the pitch, man? Is it a drone or is it a spider cam? I don't know. It looks like a spider cam, actually.
Yeah, I can see the string.
Yeah. I was like, letting a drone on the pitch. That's so dangerous. Right. I want to see if Koulibaly takes the penalty like Harry Maguire in the Euros final. Big pull.
I can see
that back. Just slices at top corner. Scores another penalty.
That's a lot of confidence to do that, man, because it lacks control to some extent, but they obviously know what they're doing, innit?
Yeah.
They know it's probably still rising, but they know the technique to use to make it rise later. So, yes, very difficult.
Definitely. Now, I'm looking forward to this now, because you're just looking at these 2 keepers who had really good tournaments. Yeah. And you just say, like, it's going to be down to them. We can see some of these players missing, but it's about the ones that actually save and dive the right way as well. Because the worst thing as a keeper is when you save it and it just like slips through you, or you don't have the right connection on it as well. Yeah. That's awful.
Yeah.
Was it Jordan Pickford that did that as well at the Euros as well?
Yeah.
One of those penalties. I just said, like, oh, so close. So close. Do you reckon I reckon this goalkeeper, if he saves it, Gabaski, he'll just do that Donnarumma celebration where he just walks off cold. He'll just be there like, yeah, I've done it again. It's normal.
I don't know what to expect from these keepers, to be fair.
Mendy brings all the experience he's got from Chelsea and from Rennes just to save it. But all I'm saying is I'm glad I'm not in a fan situation again like this, because it's just awful. I experienced it on Friday and I'm just like, for God's sake, penalties, the cruelest fate to the end of a penalty shootout. At the end of the penalty shootout, it's the cruelest fate to the end of a football game. Go on, who you predicting, Egypt or Senegal before a ball is kicked?
I have to say Senegal. That's not by my brain, but you just got to choose one, so I'm going to choose Senegal.
I'll go for Egypt just sounds of experience, but hopefully that curse is broken in AFCON. And this is who we predict as well. Koulibaly, who we predicted. First penalty taker.
Captain,
leader. Could he be a legend as well?
The way he showed up as well, like, he's a tank as well, he's a unit. Like, that, even the way he faced the ball now, like, he's getting angry at the ball. He's like, do what I tell you to do. I'm like,
He's like, you're going where I'm going to kick you. He's like, look at this run up. Oh, keeper nearly saved it. Good penalty. Good start to the penalty shootout. You could tell he was slightly nervous as well. He's like, I don't want to be the one who misses.
Yeah, but Captain did it. Didn't do anything stupid, you know what I'm saying?
Didn't do it to Eric Bailly.
Salah's like, oh, no.
He's like, maybe my penalty won't be the winning penalty. Come on. I just need them to miss the target. I need the pressure to hit them.
Yeah, because they haven't felt that pressure. They've just been leading the whole way.
Yeah.
So what did Salah choose? Salah just chose the end as opposed to going, oh no, he probably wanted to go second.
Yeah. So I think Salah chose the end where they're shooting, but he's choosing to kick second so they can react to it as opposed to act to it.
Oh wow.
Go on. Let's see. Mendy's doing jelly legs. Good
They're
penalty.
so good at penalties, like, stop.
It's like they don't even need to be worried. They've had it 3 times in a row. They're just like, we know we can hit that.
Like, this is easy. Just put it in the back of the net.
Like, we're not Saka, we're not Elanga, we're not Rashford. We can just score penalties. It's calm. It's easy. We're not David De Gea. I just want it to be one of them.
The centre-backs are going first. I don't get it. That's what I've reposted as well.
Yeah. They both had really good games, Diallo and Koulibaly as well. I'd have given Diallo man of the match because he's my favourite player to watch today as well. Besides the keeper, of course. But again, he's just like on steroids or something. Some off-the-market Egyptian steroids because he's been playing phenomenal all tournament. Let's go.
Your keeper looks scary, though. Oh, finish. Come on. No, bro. No, come on. No. Stop. Jollof. There we go. People say you can't do a straight run up. He did a straight run up. He scored. There we go.
That was so lackadaisical as well. He just like opened the side of his foot so late and just said like,
Mane's nervous, man.
Mane's going to be the one to take the 5th penalty as well. You're just like, the one.
Back to Salah, basically. This is actually nuts. This
is crazy.
You can't script this. Well, you can, but it's like, it's what you would script.
Yeah, it's what you want in a game of football after the 120 minutes of boring football we just watched. So we need this entertainment. Oh, Mendy.
He looks like a technician. I don't even know, but he just looks like, I grew up in Cairo.
This guy's he's got loads of love bites on him as well. You can see as well.
While I was getting love bites, I was scoring penalties. Like, I can just imagine.
Oh my days! Oh my days!
Come on! Just score your penalties. Just score your penalties now.
You should have had
That's what you get with your love bites. That's what you get. Mendy knew what he was doing. Mendy went the other direction to make him almost went back off Mendy's head.
Mendy was using the left analog stick, left and right. He was just like moving it. Then he left it a bit to the left. It's like, you got all that space. Let's do it. Let's score. Just misplaced it. Oh, wow. These Egyptian fans, man. Get off your phone. Your boys just missed. Stop crying. Oh, come on.
If it went back in after it hit the post and it hit, like Mendy said, and went back in, would that count as a goal?
Yeah, it was in the same motion. So if it's in the same motion, then it counts. Here we go. For God's sake, man. What are you doing?
Gosh.
Just gave the game back to them.
Oh, Buddy's walking around a lot, man. Oh, Buddy's nervous, bro.
Why? That was awful.
Yeah, it was a basic penalty, man.
It's basic. It was side foot. It was in the middle. It was at diving height. What are you doing? It's like if a goalkeeper asks you where to shoot it for them to save. That's the postage stamp. That's the postage stamp of where to hit. Because it's the best place where they're going to dive to. And it's the earliest place they're going to dive to as well. It's embarrassing.
Mind games.
Ref is reffing it really well, and Mendy's taking all the time he wants. Come on, I want to see Hamz and Zilla crying full of tears, but not enjoying in despair. Come on, Mendy, let's do it again. Let's go. Leave that space.
They're just much comfortable. They're more comfortable with penalties, man. They're more comfortable now.
They're back drawing now. Do you know what's gonna annoy me the most about this? You'll see like Muslim Twitter, Muslim TikTok, and Muslim Instagram saying, "Oh, well done, the Muslim country have won because they were like praying on the pitches." I'm like, no, they're both Muslim countries. Get it through your head.
Yeah, that stuff's people are ignorant, man.
It's so ignorant when people do things like that. I'm like, no, it doesn't matter. Senegal are a Muslim country as well. Get it through your head. Goodness sake. But they'll be like, oh no, he's Egyptian. He's done this. I'm like, no, come on.
Talking out their arse, man.
I hate when people do that though, because it makes them feel like they're self-righteous. I'm like, no, just leave religion out of it completely.
Yeah.
You don't need to talk about it. It's a game of football.
The other team are praying as well. Like it's my sister taught me out of that a long time ago. I used to be like, when Man United would score, I'd be like, oh, thank you, God. Like, I'd do like, my sister was like, well, what do you think the opposition fans are doing? Like
one counts as one out as well. You're just so like, it's nothing. Oh, let's go.
That's a good penalty.
That was just joyous. Good penalty.
He was confident. He was just like, yeah. It's just like, you just do that. Even when it went in, he was just like, yeah.
That's what I do.
That's it. Do you get it?
This is getting emotional for me now as well. But no, I got taught that a long time ago. I remember one time I was watching Man United in the Champions League. We were losing at half time. We come back to win. And I remember going, thank you, God, thank you, Allah. And then my dad and my brother just looked at me like, what the hell are you talking about? It's like, why are you praying for a game of football to win? I was like, what's wrong with you? It's like all the things that's wrong in the world, all the things that's wrong in our lives, in everyone's lives, and you're praying about a game of football. What's wrong with you? Like, oh yeah.
There's deeper stuff in the world, though.
Yeah. Yes, Mendy! Yes, Mendy! Yes.
I wanted to say thank you, God. I was like, wow, this whole conversation.
This has got so deep. Just thank you. Oh, my days. Oh, this is great. He's on the line and everything.
Oh, my guy's not watching.
My guy's praying right there as well. He's praying. He's fully praying. Oh.
My hands.
I'm just literally crying tears for no reason. I'm sweating and everything. I'm not even Senegalese or Egyptian. This is just great football, great entertainment.
I can't. For real. I'm invested.
Is
it written? Like,
it's almost written.
Why is the goalkeeper punching the ball like that?
Sadio, this is what he wanted. He wanted the headlines. Sadio Mane, Salah's crying. Sadio Mane wanted the headlines. He wanted the plaudits. He wanted everything to work.
Yeah.
I want it to work in his way. We all want it to work in Sadio Mane's way. He's placed the ball down.
Do you know what? Why am I feeling? I'm not the one taking the penalty right now.
I'm not nervous. I'm nervous. Oh no! Oh. Yes! Sadio Mane! Yes!
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I'm not nervous. Egyptian. Man is done. Edouard.
Yeah. Senegal. I know what I'm gonna post. That's my second country. I just come back from Senegal. That's Jollof Town. That's Jollof Nation. Jollof. Oh man, my stomach. I can't.
It's so funny seeing you about to cry. Oh my days. I'm gonna get like hacked by an Egyptian or something like that. I swear to God, but it's so fun just watching it. I was on my Yahoo account by an Egyptian, but it's probably gonna come back and hack me again on a different account. But oh my days, why am I talking about accounts? Gabaski had such a great game. But Mane, what? Look at that run up. Look at that run up.
like, no that's not technique, you know. That's forcing your way.
That's what he should have done in the first place. He should have done that in the first place.
I think he tried it in the first place, but you can't teach that run-up, though. That run-up was jagged.
It's so jagged. I feel like he almost lost his run-up as well. He just said, like, let me just run and just finish it. Needed to be done.
Guy, that's my guy.
Mendy is Black Superman, I swear to God. Wearing the blue and everything. Got the cape. Invisibility cape.
I was chilling with the Sadios and the Manes just last month, bro. I was chilling with them.
Oh, this is great. They're still celebrating. I love it. First time Senegal have won an African Cup of Nations. These people are just coming on to push all these players. And Egyptian Superman is just crying his eyes out. And Mohamed Salah's in tears as well.
Goalkeeper, though.
Great goalkeeper. Great performance by them as well. Fantastic defensive performance. But Senegal believed they would win it from the whole tournament. And they did. Mane and Salah embracing. Mane's like, I'm the captain now. I've got the power. We're doing things my way at Liverpool when we go back.
It's so hard to listen to anyone in that situation, but like, because Salah's such a winner as well. Like, it's so hard. Even after his boy, it's like, man, you know you're that close. You're that close, man.
Mane's so nonchalant as well. That's the funniest thing. He's just like
nonchalant about everything.
All the players going in the crowd. Mane's like, yeah, let me just go shake hands with all the losers from Egypt, which is the case. Oh, this is incredible. Look at all the fans just trying to come down. They need to party. They're partying all night in Cameroon tonight. They're partying all the way in Dakar and everything. Great. Oh, Sadio Mane going through. What a humble guy. Humble guy. This is brilliant.
I'm happy. You can't win 3 penalties in a row, bro.
Yeah, it's just not fair. It would have been scripted. It would have been scripted if it was 3 penalties in a row.
Hey.
Carlos Queiroz is down. The Egyptian Buffon is down. The whole of Egypt is down. There we go, Mane. Enjoy yourself. You deserve it. Oh.
The first one.
First ever. You know, the worst thing is about this whole thing. This is going live on YouTube, but I didn't press record when the penalties hit. So I'll just have to screen record it and I'll just get it back later, which will be fine. I'll clip it. Basically, my battery was running out, but when I click record, it just narrows down the battery. So I'm like, I'll just screen record it later. But our reaction was so funny. I'm just there like, I've never shouted Mendy, Mendy, Mendy in my life. Like my life depended on Mendy to say it.
I was just like, it was scripted though, innit? It was scripted, like
so
it wasn't like Salah missed, so it wasn't like, oh wow, Salah missed. It was just like Mane was in a position to score the penalty that won the thing. Like, so it wasn't like, you know, Salah let the country down. It was just like, yeah, no, Mane came clutch when it mattered.
Yeah, like he has done the whole tournament as well.
Yeah.
He really well deserved. And Mendy deserves a shout out. Diallo and Koulibaly, they deserve a shout out as well. They were incredible. Koulibaly, however I pronounce it. But yeah, well deserved. And I can't lie. I need a drink now. We've had 2 hours of watching this. It's been so good to watch this.
For real, man. It's been a pleasure, man.
It's been great. And like no other sport. I didn't agree with this at the time, but once my friends have said it, no other sport can bring emotion and joy out of random games of sport just like this, like football can. You can't watch another sport in an objective point of view like this and just be like, yeah, have that kind of emotion. My heart's still beating. It's crazy.
Same. No, that's a fact. And it's interesting your friend brought that up because I've heard that not numerous times, but I think on 2 other occasions, just from YouTubers in different countries, 2 different countries. And I think it's because every other sport, there's a goal so regularly. With football, it's not common. You can get 1-0. That's probably the most common scoreline, 2-1. Whereas in basketball, 100. Cricket, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're always seeing big scorelines. So for us, because we have to wait for so long, when the goal goes in, it's like, whoa, like the adrenaline, the endorphins that are released.
That's 100%. 100%. It's literally just the 2 penalties that we just saw. One penalty missed in normal time, didn't happen. Idrissa Gana Gueye didn't even watch the penalty when Mane scored. the winner for Senegal as well. And you're just there, literally looking at it, thinking that's what it is. That's why it meant so much more, because everyone was just building up at the end of it, which is incredible. Oh, I need a breather.
Yeah, let's get a breather, man. That was good though. Good conversation. Good. Penalty shootout was what made the drama, to be fair, but it was good watch along, man. Like, thanks for having me on that.
No, anytime. And literally, like, anytime. Like, when the Champions League comes back, we'll get it done again. Because if it's just two neutral games, it'll just be fun to watch and make jokes and stuff like we have, which has been great. But everyone, thank you very much for listening. Thanks for watching. Everyone follow Zim on Away Games podcast as well. And find him on Instagram. It will be on the description for our YouTube. Everyone take care.